And I don't have to beg for clout. I have clout. I piss clout. I'm clout myself. I'm clout manifest. Okay? Damn stream is gonna hit. Welcome in, chatters. Welcome in, chatters. I hope I broke a few ears already. It is between 4:40 and 6:40 where I'm at. I hope you're all doing this fine morning, evening/afternoon. It is Beer Wednesday, where we watch stupid shit, drink some beer, and be very aggressive towards fascists, capitalists, and the like. How you guys doing? I am drinking overpriced French beer because I don't actually fuck with beer too much. So the beer that I like the most is the beer that tastes the least like beer. But afterwards we might switch to something else. For today is basically my weekend. Tomorrow is going to be the only day when I'm not going to be streaming this week. So today is the day your boy goes out. If you know what I mean, I'm gonna touch some grass. Anyways. We're gonna talk about Jubilee. We're gonna talk about just how unhinged the entire concept is. Why? Because Destiny has ordained this. Destiny herself came down from the skies and said, yo, hit me up in the DMs, Yuga, okay? And I hit her up in the DMs and she supplied me with 2 links, okay? 2 links. One was the brand new video by Internet Comment Etiquette being about Jubilee, and another one being 20 people confront a billionaire, which I haven't seen a single goddamn Twitch streamer do a video about. I think they all get scared because when you start the video, I pre-watched, as you can see, like the first 3 minutes. When you start it out, the billionaire is like, oh, I'm actually one of the good billionaires. I give a lot of my money away, and I like weed. I made weed legal. Don't you know that I made weed legal? Type shit. So they got scared because they won't be able to do the classic commentary. But I ain't scared. It is me, your boy Hugo. It is my great honor to attack every single type of a disgusting capitalist dog, no matter if they're a bit nicer than the other or not. So welcome in. Today's going to be a chill session. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope that today we have one of our beautiful civil wars whenever we hit the hype train. I hope you're having a lovely day as well. And let's see where it goes. It's fucking hot over here. I don't know if it's hot where you guys are at. I washed my car today like proper shit. I paid some extra money for them to lube up my my leather seats. I do that once a month. It costs $20 here for the labor and the actual skin routine that they give the car seats, right? Washed the car. I had a few coffees. I talked to my mom. I helped my girlfriend pack. Your boy is a bachelor for like 5 days, dude. Your boy is a bachelor. Sent her over to the seaside. I'm gonna chill here for a little bit longer and then join her later. In like 3-4 days. So yeah, prepare for me to not be a normal, stable human being. For cis straight men cannot be normal human beings without women in their lives. That is objective truth. So, but it is a necessary thing to happen from time to time. Okay, pro tip for relationships: there can be too much of a good thing. I have a successful 6-year relationship that is going to probably turn into a wedding. God bless, God bless. So I think I know what I'm talking about. There can be too much of a good thing. So sometimes giving each other a little bit of space is always very nice, as long as you, of course, can do so. Unfortunately, a lot of people cannot do that even if they wanted to because of particular material conditions. Destiny's ex-wife hit you up and said it's your time. What the fuck? What the fuck? What? Bro, what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? I don't get the gist. Yo, Hugo, how you doing? It's been a while. Glad to be back. Welcome back, GMT, man. Nice mustache. Yo, I always got the mustache. Always showed the little guy. It's not this blonde. I don't know. It's because the fucking thing is directly blowing me in my face. So, I am 2 beers in, motherfuckers. I'm 2 beers in. I plan on doing 8 to 9. So let's get right into this, okay? Let's get right into this. Today's going to be a fun one. Today's going to be a certified classic streamer experience, okay? It's the sellout of the sellout. It is content for the sake of content. Jebem ti materu, pičku ti jebem. Oh, kurva gadna. Which is watching Jubilee, right? Okay, brother. Let's get right into this. God fucking damn it. The fucking Zin hitting. The fucking Zin hitting. It's not a Zin. It's a general. It's a general.
Just to get food stamps. I believe.
Shut the fuck up, you fucking plastic surgeon looking motherfucker. Okay. So, the video is titled 20 people confront a billionaire. I would call it 20 proletarians versus a capitalist trader of his species. But hey, I'm not running Jubilee.
Today, I think we've all sat here and we've.
So let's bet immediately if mods can do a bet. I don't know if I even have any of the mods in here right now. Jesus Christ, my coppers be abandoning me. Who's gonna end up looking better at the end of the video? The normal people or the billionaire? I'm putting all my money on the billionaire, of course. Of course, this was gonna happen. This man has swam in the South French Riviera, had drinks with some of the world's most established intellectuals and artistes, has seen almost every corner of the world and touched every genitalia of every form, shape, and size that has ever been known to man. He has a gallery of experiences that none of these plebeians could ever hope to experience in 7,000 lifetimes. So of course he's going to be faster. Of course he's going to hit harder. Of course he's going to be going to have a response to every single question that is going to quote unquote outwit the other one. This is not why he is a billionaire. He has become most likely wiser and more adaptable because he was a billionaire, because money allows you experiences that lack of money cannot. So, you literally become different when you have money, unironically. Like, this is science. Probably pay Jubilee to make him look good, of course. Oh, yeah. And Jubilee would take the money for sure. These dudes are like content for the sake of content on steroids. So, billionaire versus 20 people. Let's see where this goes.
We've heard you talk about your jet and Maui and your 3 homes and the money that sits in your account that you don't care to touch. What stops you from helping every person in this room that's struggling right now? How do you help them? What do you do? Because you got a private jet, but I had to take off from work today and I'm struggling. I got bills, man.
You know what made me watch this? I didn't even know it got posted. This made me watch this way. Where was it? No, it's not even here. 1 second. I'll show you a clip from it that I saw that made me like, oh God, I gotta talk to Chad about this shit. Where you at? 1 second. Yes, I'm searching for it back on my timeline. Come on. And no, it's gone. Well, then you'll see the clip in the video itself.
I'm John Morgan, the founder of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. And according to Forbes, I'm a billionaire. Ask me anything.
My first question is, how much are you currently worth? And
injury law firm. Okay, so he has managed to generate large amounts of capital by representing proletarians in the workplace, specifically whenever their body got fucked up because of whatever they need to do. What he's doing, obviously pretty legitimate, but it gets delegitimized by the fact that he actively chooses to amass said wealth without properly distributing it, even though he's probably going to talk about how he is distributing it, but through his own private means, right?
how did you amass that amount of money?
I'm a lawyer. I went to law school and became a lawyer, but I'm also a serial entrepreneur. I built and operate a chain of attractions across America I have Marriott hotels across America.
Okay, there we go. Okay. It's not because I was like, okay, my guy might be able to cook. Okay, I was like, for a second there, I might be doing billionaire apologia here on the channel because to an extent, I would be like, okay, if you got like 100 mil, like fuck you for having 100 mil, but if you made like 100 mil from making sure that workers get paid when they break their fucking legs at workplaces, like you're not the worst billionaire, right? Like you're not the worst one. You get what I mean? It's like, on the fucking hierarchy of social parasites, not exactly Mr. Evil over here. But then no, he reinvested that capital into classic exploitative large-scale businesses such as the hotel service industry, chain stores, and attractions and so on. So okay, there we go. Like it took 15 seconds. It took 15 seconds. This is what they always do. They start out with the fact that they are very well educated and that they actually do have a legitimate profession, in this case defined as lawyer man. But then, literally 15 seconds later, reveal that probably the capital that allowed them to be a billionaire was funneled through classic surplus value extraction, also known as the fucking hotel industry, right? In this case.
I built shopping centers. The big part of my wealth has been generated by my law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Well, I don't know exactly how much I'm worth. I used to tell my kids when they were little, when their friends would ask them, are we rich or not? I said, the answer is this. We're comfortable.
What do you mean?
Oh my God, that is fucking pathetic. Jesus, at least be fucking honest with your kids, dude. Tell them that you are a superior alien species because their lifestyle compared to those of random dudes and girls around them is going to be that of a fucking alien.
Comfortable. Like, you definitely have way more than just being comfortable. You live a luxury life.
Do you call being worth $1 billion comfortable?
Very. And but you don't feel like it because you don't spend it. When you grow up a certain way,
then you don't fucking need it. There you go. Great argument for nobody having $1 billion. You can never hope to spend that $1 billion in your lifetime or the lifetimes of your next 10 generations. Therefore, it is completely irrational to exist inside of modern human society and should be abolished. Oh my God, I'm dropping bars. No, I'm just saying the most cliche fucking socialist analysis to ever fucking exist. But, when it works, don't fix it.
it's not like it's changed much in my life. I'm in the same house. I don't spend the money that you would think I'd spend.
There you go. I'm a strong advocate of Jeff Bezos, my boss here on Twitch. Unironically, like if you're going to be a billionaire, if you're going to siphon the wealth of your entire species just for yourself, I want you to have a fleet of 700-foot yachts constantly going into the most unhinged Berlin-style club orgy experiences, doing cocaine that is so highly technologically advanced that it does not damage your body. Okay, if you are betraying your species for capital, you might as well, live it up. You might as well be that character from the Matrix that is like, no, fuck it. If I believe I'm in the Matrix, I might as well be in the Matrix and work for the Matrix instead of the other guys because I get to eat nice steak and get to live in a penthouse. You get what I mean? Like both of these categories are obviously fucking disgusting, but I find it more disgusting where a Warren Buffett-like motherfucker comes to me who has fucking 17 billion and yet still lives in the same house that he lived in back when he was only 1 million heavy. Then why are you amassing more money? Why are you amassing more money? You are a literal tumor. You are just amassing more money for the sake of amassing more money. It's not for the power. It's not for the flex. It's not for the lifestyle. You're just doing it. Just stroking ego ad continuum. Why does the billionaire not face the masses? That's a good question. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny how they set the whole thing up. But then he can go and watch the video later. It pisses me off when they say it like they are relatable to the rest of us, because they know exactly what they need to say, and that's why I'm fighting back against this particular fucking rhetoric, and so should you. Like, no, fuck you. This is worse. I'm dying on this hill. It is much worse for you to be a billionaire who does not spend any of that fucking money than being a billionaire who does actually enjoy the fruits of other people's labor. Similar to gambling addiction, lack of adrenaline leads them to more gambling, pretty much. What the fuck is this stage setup? They really just gave the poor people the worst fucking chairs and a fucking bench. I guess it's like an allegory of the life that they live versus the life that he lives in this comfortable setup. I get it's for effect in contrast to the billionaires, but the other way around would have been more powerful of an image. It absolutely would have, especially if he was looking directly at them. But this man can only do eye contact with you if you're a camera or if you have more than 10 zeros in your bank account, bro. With a 1 in front, not just zeros. Hey! Yeah.
And it's odd because you have all this money in the bank, but
I'd be building turbine-powered race cars and shit. Crazy contraptions. Same shit, dude. On What is Politics on YouTube, he compares wealth and power to obesity and diabetes. The same guy, but then why is he, when it comes to that allegory, the fattest man? Why is he fatter than 100,000 people combined? Okay, if we're comparing money to if we're comparing making more money to being fatter and fatter, a billionaire is the size of New York City as compared to an average human being. Okay, sure, let's do that comparison. But then you're the size of an island in the Pacific. And normal people are just normal people sized, okay? Including chubbier people. Here for the monthly sub drop on series. Just for the monthly sub drop. You're not fucking gonna chill and hang out, you fucking motherfucker. I'm kidding. Thank you very much for the 17 months. Only here on Yugopnik Twitch will I be aggressive at people for generously contributing 7 months worth of $6. Jubilee should be fucking closed since all they do is prop up the most extreme and stupid points. It would have been like, yeah, one Nazi versus 200 Jews. Absolutely. It is the Jubilee is the product of content for the sake of content being reproduced inside of the market system, which stimulates you to create the most controversial talking point, not in order to serve that conversation going further, but just to shock people so that they click and they watch, just as we're doing so now. Right? It is Zoomers were like boomers are so fucking cringe. They used to have yellow pages. They used to have like these paparazzi magazines that would just fucking lie about shit in the open, and boomers would buy it just because they wanted to get in on some fresh new gossip, some fresh new infighting, some fresh new clickbait, and then they invented Buzzsprout, and then many years later Buzzsprout turned into Jubilee, and we have what we have now, right? Like everything in capitalism reproduces itself, and just in a newer and newer form, in an alternate package. But it's still the same thing. Thank you, McJin, for the 200 videos and those beautiful zombie emojis. Thank you very much. Snack it on us. Snack indeed it very much on us. Okay?
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
What does the billionaire not simply use his wealth to give resources to the poorest neighborhoods of the city they live in? Smart billionaires, and I think he might be one of them, actually to an extent do this. But in my opinion, this is not something that should be clapped for. This is not something that should be applauded, because it's like I come into your house, I steal your TV, I sell the TV for $1,000. And then I come back to your apartment and I give you $5, and I'm like, "Yo, dude, I heard your TV got stolen. Here's $5. I hope that helps with your meal tomorrow." Like, motherfucker, you stole my TV. Like, billionaires extract value out of the working class. When they give anything back, they're giving back a small percentage of what they had stolen. Therefore, we should not be saying thank you to a motherfucker that just robbed me and gave me 2% of what he robbed. Nor should we say thank you when they pay taxes. Sure, they're a little bit better than a billionaire who doesn't pay taxes, but they're still a fucking thief that is giving me back a percentage of the shit you stole from me or my community. How do you feel about sunflower seeds? Num or gross? Literally, my lunch was sunflower seeds an hour ago. That's what I had for lunch. I live for sunflower seeds. What kind of... Kubashi, you're here. You're one of the biggest fucking regulars, man. How do you not know this? Oh, baby. Thank you, Mumbles, for the 10 months. Let's fucking go. Waba wiwa. Very nice, very good. Dude, it would be crazy if we hit the July sub goal, but it's we never hit the goal, so I don't know what I'm fucking hoping for.
Wonderful. A new child
which is
soldier.
fine. Create the conditions of poverty, alleviate the worst of the conditions you've created. 3 for profit. And that's kind of the big split between billionaires. Okay, you have a smart reactionary who understands how capitalism works, such as, for example, Tucker Carlson, who wrote a whole fucking book that I unfortunately had to read for one of my fucking videos, where he unironically argues with the billionaires for a semi-welfare state in which the billionaires and the so-called elites, the elites as he calls them or whatever, give back a certain amount of money to the community, not because they care about the community, because but to the contrast, because it will alleviate radicalism and it will stop them in the long term from rising up and fucking everybody up, right? And taking 100% of the money that has been stolen from them by said elites, right? And then you have the other category, the non-Tuckeronian, I'm talking about America here specifically, which are just like, no, we YOLOing this hard, which is, for example, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk on steroids, right? Elon Musk is a classic, like pure free market. Let's fucking go, fucking milk the poors as much as I can, but not in a sexy, sexual way. Okay, thank you, Danny, for the biddies, baby. Thank you very much. Carlsonian, that is definitely going to be a thing in the future. That motherfucker runs for a political category, which he will. Is going to be interesting. Just curious about your channel and your ethos. I'm guessing you were suggested to me because I watch Hassan. Probably, yeah. Very, very similar shit. I'm just from Eastern Europe, and I'm a bit edgier, I guess. But I fuck with Hassan. Though Hassan is basically from Eastern Europe too. Motherfucker's from Turkey, dude. like Istanbul is pretty close to where I'm at, man. Ugh. But yeah, I hope you vibe. I hope you enjoy the community we've built here. This guy needs a ban. Who's the guy that needs a ban? Name me one successful Marxist country ever. No, my friend. No. Let's not ban them. We got a toy. We got a pet. We got a pet. Wait, let me do something. Yo, bro. One successful Marxist country. Sweden. Thank you, Burgles. Thank you very much for 4 months. Thank you very much. Sweden and Norway. And Germany. Germany is also very social. Sorry, I'm doing the thing. I love doing the thing. Most successful socialist country, your mama, because everybody got access to her, bro. Wait, what we are? I'm being fucking hell. Sorry, I'm being meta-ironic here. Don't lie, tell them you're Albanian. We are all Albanians. Albanians are the first people. Albanians were aliens that came to planet Earth and had sex with monkeys and created the first Homo sapien. Okay? Saying you are Albanian is like saying you're Homo sapien. It is de facto. Bem ti mamu shuga vu Serbendo. Who told you I'm Serbian, dude? I'm a proud Albanian. Shkia. I'm not a fucking Shkia, bro. I'm proud Shqiptar. Fucking Shkia walking in here, calling me a fucking Serbian. Pfft, fucking nasty ass. Okay, anyways, back to the billionaires. I hope billionaire cocks taste really good, dude. I'm sure you're a billionaire here on Twitch, posting comments, dude.
That you would think I'd spend. It's odd because you have all this money in the bank, but it doesn't really change what you do day to day.
My question for you is, what stops you
There you go. It should be an argument for the acquisition of money for the sake of acquisition of money and capital does not actually translate in your life getting better, you being happier, you finding more fulfillment. Like, so why do it? Is that why you have that silver YouTube thing behind you, Mr. Anti-Capitalist? So YouTube equals no YouTube equals socialism. This is a new one, dude. Man, I like you. Somebody gift a sub to Roe Fricandel. Somebody hit my boy up with a sub. I love it. So no YouTube equals socialisme. And the less YouTube we have, the more socialism we have. In actual life, they hold doctors' families as hostages so that the doctors flee to the free world. Are you going to say this is not true? Who are you talking about? Are you talking about Hamas? Talking about Hamas? Who are you talking about? What you talking about, brother? Thank you, Barry, for the gift sub. I'm talking about Cuba. In Cuba, they imprison their population. Their economy is not imprisoned by the sanctions enacted upon them by literally just the United States and Israel. It is Cuba itself. Cuba's like, I don't want to do any trade with anyone. I don't want to be able to import anything. I fucking hate progressing my own country. Yeah, that is indeed the Cuban government. That is what they stand for.
from using your wealth to change somebody's life?
Nothing. Listen, I live 3 places. I live in Florida.
Okay, so
Nothing. Listen, I live 3 places. I live in Florida, I live in Maui, Hawaii, and I live in New Hampshire. But I've taken my wealth and done certain things. Like in Florida where I live, I ran a constitutional amendment twice to legalize medical marijuana. I lost the
Marihuana! We got marihuana thanks to a billionaire. Absolutely.
First time.
Thank you, Mr. Billionaire, for giving us the legalization of a narcotic that had imprisoned hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people in the United States under the pretense of fighting addiction and fighting drugs. Which was really utilized to suppress local minorities, same local minorities that participated in protest and organizing for decades upon decades in order to legalize said substance, because they understood that everybody gonna be smoking some fucking weed. We might as well not get brothers imprisoned or shot in the streets because of said weed. But you know, he understood that big situation, and he donated 0.0000001% of his capital, which he generated through the labor surplus extraction of his viewership and of his employees, and then reinvested in a particular cause that he might find interesting. But also, just one question, okay? Also, let's go back here 1 second.
Today, I think we've all seen the money that sits here today from help.
the founder of
Okay, John Morgan, Morgan and Morgan. Let me check something. Okay, it was worth a try. But big chances this guy is also making money from weed itself as well. Some chatters that are better at Googling shit, check it out. Some chatters that are better at Googling shit, check it out. What's up, chatters? A lot of people coming in. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Yeah, don't even get me started on tax breaks. That's talked about into the oblivion. All of you know about this.
Of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. And according to Forbes, 72% where I live. I ran a constitutional amendment twice to legalize medical marijuana. I lost the first time, but I won the second time with 72% of the vote. I believe that income inequality is the number one issue facing America today. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. And every day the gulf is getting wider. So what did I do? I ran a constitutional amendment. I spent tens of millions of dollars to raise the minimum wage from $8 an hour to $15 an hour in Florida. That's a doubling of the minimum wage. So I take that money that I make and I've run those constitutional amendments and I've put money into food banks and coalition for the homeless, and it goes on and on. And I will tell you this, not to pat me on the back too much about it, because I don't really feel it. I don't really feel it. I was at lunch the other day and this woman walks up to me and says, "John, I just want to thank you and your wife for the donation you made to iDignity." I didn't know what iDignity was. I said, "How much do we give?" She said, $500,000. It turns out that my wife had given the money. And by the way, if you want money, call my wife. And iDignity is a place for the poorest of the poor to get identification, because more and more in this country, you need to have an identification just to get food stamps. I believe when you make this kind of money, you have an obligation to give it back. You don't feel it. It doesn't hurt you. You know, you can look at me and know I'm not missing too many meals. So I don't feel.
Okay. How much is one? How much is $10 million as percentage in a billion? You're determining what percentage 10 million is of $1 billion. 10 million is 10 million. 1 billion is 1 billion. Dude, can you just give me an answer, motherfucker? 10 million is 1% of 1 billion. Let's say that he gave 10 million. He gave 1% of everything that he made from labor surplus extraction of working class people. Now let's compare that. Okay. Let's compare that to average medium income per person, United States. Okay. $37,000. Okay. Let's ask Google, what is 1% of 37,000? I know the answer, I just want it to be spelled out by Google. Okay. $370. Okay. $370. So if you make 37,000 and you give $370 a year to random homeless people, to waiters and staff and tips, or to your bros and homies, you have given as much as this man has. Okay? What I'm trying to say, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, is that my boy be flexing with nothing. With nothing. Hey, Grok, tell us how much a billion is. You know what I know that is 1%. Guy, I love chatters like actually give me the percentage. I want it to be on the screen. Okay, so if somebody allows me to extract 70 to 80% of surplus value from my employees, and then for only 1%. Let's even say for 5%. Let's even say he gives $100 million. That in some magical fairy tale world, which is, by the way, non-tax deductible, right? Let's say he gives $100 million out for the causes he cares about and the impoverished people in his community, etc., etc., etc. For 10%, I get to alleviate the masses from fucking killing me and just taking the rest. I get to alleviate the masses from realizing that I am the entire fucking problem. I get to sleep well at night. This is a very big factor. I get to feel really good about myself. I get to be tapped on the back by everybody inside of my community. I get to feel better than the other billionaires. That sounds like the best deal on the goddamn motherfucking planet. I would take that deal. Would you take that deal? I'd take that deal. That's a great deal. I want that deal. That is a very, very good deal. Because always remember, taxation and all of these systems which very wealthy people utilize in order to help out certain communities and so on are what we rightfully refer to here on Yugopnik Twitch as riot tax. This is the bare minimum they have to reinvest in the community so it doesn't get completely destabilized, gets insanely radical, and ends up taking all their shit because all their shit really belongs to the working people. So, TLDR, they are doing this gentleman, of course, to a larger extent maybe than your average billionaire Joe, not as a mechanism to actually change things, even when they believe it. He seems like he believes it. No, they do it in order to sleep better at night and to make sure nobody comes in with a looped up hammer inside of their child's home one day or their grandchild's home when they inherit that billion. They turn probably into $1 trillion at that point and bashes their fucking head in. Okay? It is a long-term investment. It is hedging against the potential risk of rising class consciousness. So, 1% or 10% or 30%, don't look at it as them doing something good. Look at them as being smart businessmen, smart capitalists, minimizing the potential of losing everything that they've amassed through exploitation of the same working class that we're talking about. Okie dokie, okie dokie.
Like I'm doing anything special, I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
So I'm going to try to rephrase it. What stops you from getting out that?
That's why people like Richard Wolff are extremely valuable. We desperately need people spoon feeding us the debunking. We are desperate. We absolutely, 100%.
Car at the moment where you and your son, and you've seen the homeless person. What stopped you from changing that person's life?
Well, I do get out of the car from sometimes. When I pull up to a stoplight and there's somebody out there begging for food, even if they look like they've been eating donuts for the last 10 years, I give them money because I'm not going to judge them. I look at them this way. They're out there on the street in the heat. I don't know what they're doing out there, but you know what? It's not my job to judge.
I feel like a lot of billionaires, they say the same thing. They say they do donate and they do give to people. You give to organizations and large conglomerates that take your money and they break it up and they throw it around. If you're not handing something down to help somebody who really needs it, then what does it matter?
You're in the law field, and that's how.
Did you know that fat people can be homeless and hungry? Yeah, that was a real mask-off moment there for a second, wasn't it? That was a mask-off moment there for a second for our boy, what he actually thinks. So he does not, he pities them, but he also considers them losers, right?
Oh, you've amassed your network and everything that you've earned. If you had to start over in a different industry, what would you be in order to become a billionaire again?
I don't even know how it happened in the first place. So it's like keep waiting to wake up, and it was all a dream. It's like, how did this happen? Listen, here's my problem.
Yeah, we can all tell you how it fucking happens.
I suck in math and I suck in science, so there's not many jobs left for me after that. But
There you go. This is pivot. This is pivoting. This is pivoting. This is going back to the idea that he made all of this money because he's a really good lawyer. He's a better lawyer than everybody else. He's a better professional than everybody else. And that's how he made it. Motherfucker owns hotel chains. Motherfucker owns supermarket chains. Okay? It's not the lawyer shit. It's the having motherfuckers running your supermarkets, getting 7% of the profit of said supermarket and said money that it's generating.
gut tells me I want to go to Wall Street and make deals like that. But what I would probably do is stay in the attraction business that I'm in. I love that business because there's no fighting. And I did it as a hobby. I've always thought what I could have done with my attraction and amusement business if I'd had it full time instead of, it was more like collecting stamps than anything, to tell you the truth.
So you made some comments about liking capitalism and how much legislation you did for raising the minimum wage for $15 an hour here in Florida. Is there anyone at your law firm or your multiple businesses that you're paying less than $15 an hour now?
No. And I wasn't paying less then.
Yeah, there you go, smart capitalist. If I was a capitalist, I would do absolutely the same thing. I would paint the fact that, how do I put this? Okay, capitalists like this man use lube when they fuck you at work. That's it. You're still getting fucked. And you should be thankful to them for using lube because you shouldn't be getting fucked in the first place. Okay? He's like, oh, no, I'm paying minimum, the increased minimum that I genuinely believe in, blah, blah, blah. Look at him. I even spit on it sometimes, okay? I even do some foreplay sometimes. But, sir, is it consensual? No, it's not consensual. Of course, it's not consensual. Labor value extraction cannot be consensual because nobody wants to be robbed. So you have lube billionaires and you have raw dogging billionaires, okay? Bareback billionaires versus lube billionaires. But none of them engage in the sexual allegory I have for them and the worker in a consensual manner because nobody would consent to being robbed.
Because I believe that a living wage is a civil right. I also believe that retaining employees with a living wage and bonuses, it's good for business. I believe.
Not pre-watch. There you go. He's just a good businessman because he understands that he will keep them more long term. If you use lube, he's just long term profitability over short term gain. This is not something we should clap to.
Believe by paying more to my employees, I keep them. Attrition is lower, and believe it or not, although it sounds backwards, I believe by paying more, I make more because I keep people, and my people are really all I.
Okay, I have another idea, bro. How about you pay them the full value of their labor? And then they're going to stay there forever and they're going to be happy forever. And you can take, dude, you have a lot of experience in managing massive businesses. You can unironically still be an executive as long as you get reelected by management, which is elected by regular workers in your enterprise. This is not communism. This is a classic, fucking market socialism type of approach. You'll still make fucking 10x the regular employee, but your regular employees are going to be living like kings in comparison to how they're living now. But no. We gotta allow the plebeians a little bit of crumbs so that the plebeians don't leave and make me my bread.
I have.
So in your opinion, why aren't other billionaires doing the same thing that you're doing?
Well, I think some are and some aren't. A lot of people have to, like once I raised the minimum wage here in Florida, all of a sudden, out of the blue, Universal raised the minimum wage to $15 an hour. I kind of took credit for that. At a certain point, when wages start to rise, businesses have to respond, because if Universal's paying $15, then Disney's got to pay $15, because who cares if you're running Small World or Harry Potter? You're looking for a job.
So you mentioned a little bit how you've
Yes, but he's not saying the important part. Chat, what happens when a business realizes it has to increase salaries for their employees no matter what, because they're going to have high attrition rates. They're going to start losing a lot of employees. So they realize they got to increase salaries. What else gets increased? Do the capitalists that own the business take the loss of having to increase their labor cost? Inflation, thank you very much. Exactly. They increase the prices for the consumer. Who is the consumer? Also the working man. So you might be getting paid 10% more than you were getting paid last month, which then motivates everybody in the industry and even outside of the industry to pay their workers 10% more. But a capitalist does not take the hit on that. He simply increases the price by 10%. He cuts the benefits by a certain amount. He automates more, and especially long term starts planning on how to rely as least as possible on the workforce itself. All right? 100% of the time in capitalism, the one footing the bill is everyday regular working class people. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. A very easy approach that a lot of corporations do, which is fucking classic. I even looked like at literal numbers back in my corporate thing, because one of my first jobs was doing advertising and outsourcing for just like hiring people. I was basically doing hiring propaganda for the corporations that I worked in, where we like lied to them to an extent about how awesome it is to come work here, because we couldn't give them good salaries. So we were like, no, dude, you got like crazy benefits. We're a family, bro. It's like like pizzas on fucking Fridays, and like you got a PlayStation in the office, and the office is really pretty. It's sick as fuck, etc., etc. They simply reinvest. They start long-term planning on how to get rid of as many employees as possible. Thank you, Dr. Sleepifist. I'm here, boss. Yeah. Thank you very much for the 19 months, you fucking legend. Let me get another beer.
Put money into politics and things like that, and in the current political climate.
You see my little, I'm building a little shrine back here, okay? You see Lenin here, okay? We're building a Lenin beer shrine. Okay, just like this. Here's another one. Another one. Živeli chat, živeli, Bog s nami, ajde. Oh, very nice, very good. What beer are you drinking? This overpriced French shit. It's called Blanc. It's the least beer tasting beer, okay? So buy me a beer, avoid the ad that is going to play in exactly 4 minutes, allow me to enjoy the most expensive capitalist product straight from the south of France for $6 a month for free through Prime, and in return you get to be a child soldier and avoid advertising. Or oil me up and give me more child soldiers, which means more fucking beers. Wawa weewa wawa wawa. Oh. What's up, mods? Don't ban our pet. We got a pet.
In the United States.
We got a pet. The pet is king of all the worst takes. I'm waiting for the pet to have like one normal take. So what was it? Doctors are being imprisoned in Cuba. That's why they're not leaving, and they are They want to leave because it's extremely impoverished. Why is it impoverished? Chatter doesn't want to talk about this, doesn't want to talk about sanctions. Right now, Chatter is obviously being like, no genocide in Gaza. And earlier, he was calling my Albanian ass Serbian. Fucking wild. Holy shit. Imagine not being Albanian. Arab Palestinians were very good with the Nazis. Didn't you know that? Oh, I fucking love that one. That's a classic. You tagged the wrong one, and if I was an Israeli, I would have a higher IQ than 90% of... Come on! Did you ban them? Oh, come on! We're getting sensitive. Cops. Police officers. Come on. He raised his hands. He was cooperating. Just stopped my guy while he was driving around town and murdered him. Literal genocide denier. Come on, let me have a little bit of fun, even with the genocide deniers. Come on. You don't immediately shoot a KKK member, right? Like, you have some fun with him first. Damn, Jesus. I'm fucking around. Good for you, Chet. Like, my mods make 100% of the decisions on who gets to be banned. You don't. No, if you can have some fun with them, you fucking don't, you know? Sometimes you need to put down your pet.
Our government's run by the billionaires, kind of for the billionaires. What do you think the moral role of a billionaire should be within the United States government?
The moral role of a billionaire is for him to cease being a billionaire, to allow the full socialization of all of his enterprises, which would unironically lift him up to sainthood status in the eyes of all socialists pretty much everywhere, as they should, as it absolutely should.
Child soldier. Subscriber.
Which would then start up a very large conversation in that country about social ownership of the and of. Okay, back to billionaires, right?
One eternity later.
This motherfucker probably done a lot less than do Civil War battles on Twitch, okay? I deserve $1 billion more than this man, so you shouldn't feel bad for spending your money on me. God bless, God bless. Let's continue.
By and large, the opposite of what it is. These fat cats got
The United States.
if you're running.
You've put money into politics and things like that, and in the current political climate in the United States, our government's run by the billionaires, kind of for the billionaires. What do you think the moral role of a billionaire should be within the United
As I said earlier, before we move to our great battle, they should simply not exist, okay? This question is like asking the IDF, what is the IDF's role supposed to be in occupied Palestine? The main reason why there are problems in occupied Palestine is because there is an occupying force. The main reason there are hundreds of millions of starving, impoverished people is because billionaires exist, is because capitalism exists, which allows for such an immense accumulation of wealth to happen. So it's like asking the problem what their solution would be. And of course, their solution is always going to be a bandage solution because they are a tumor. They do not want to be removed from the body. They just want bandages on top of themselves, which make them feel nice and warm and cozy.
United States government?
By and large, the opposite of what it is. These fat cats got so much money, but they want the tax laws to benefit them.
Fuck America, but I'm used to getting fucked by America, so it's okay. I apologize, Bum. This was very unfair to you, I admit.
Like these hedge fund people don't even pay taxes. And so the billionaires are not satisfied with what they have. They want more and more and more and more. And what my worry is, this income inequality, at some point there's a breaking point. At some point you can become Cuba. And what I would say to these billionaires,
Wonderful, a new child soldier. Subscriber.
There you go. Exactly everything I said up until this point, and this motherfucker confirms it. Thank you, Mumsy. I swear on my mother, may my mother die of a fucking heart stroke right now, this second, if I pre-watched. You don't need to pre-watch. This is what billionaires are. He is giving us crumbs because he doesn't want to get shot in the back of his head. He is paying the riot tax. He is a smart bourgeois. Like this is, you can't write this. You can't write this. He's openly stating that the main motivation, not the main motivation, but what should be the main motivation of most capitalists is to give crumbs back, because otherwise we're going to riot and we're going to throw you out of fucking balconies. That's it. There you go. I genuinely cannot believe he said it.
Breaking point. What my worry is, this income inequality, at some point there's a breaking point.
There you go. That's the Tucker Carlsonian American bourgeois. The smart American reactionary. The smart American bourgeois.
At some point you can become Cuba. And what I would say to these billionaires, you're going to make this gulf so big and so vast just because you don't think it could ever happen in America. Just remember January 6th. Just remember them storming the Capitol. Those were the barbarians.
Oh, there you go. Now he's really smart. I like this guy. I like having an opponent that I can. He's smart. So he's now equalizing reactionaries with socialists in order to motivate his main audience, which that is obviously his main audience, liberals, to side with his billionaire ass. Because his argument is not to Republicans, not to conservatives. It is to liberals that there can be such a thing as a good billionaire, as a non-oligarch billionaire. So first he says billionaires are stupid if they don't give crumbs back to the working classes because you might end up being Cuba. Then he conflates revolution, socialist revolution, with the reactionary LARP of January 6th, but you get my point. And you can already see these, normal people. I'm not going to make fun of people on Jubilee, okay? They're already probably cursed enough in life because of the fact that they're on Jubilee. But look at them. Look at their faces, okay? Look at their faces as he equalizes socialist revolution with January 6th. Look at their faces. Look at their faces.
Just remember January 6th. Just remember them storming the Capitol.
What? Okay, this is a smart guy. He's like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill myself. Wait, let's.
So big and so vast. Just because you don't think it could ever happen in America, just remember January 6th. Just remember them storming the Capitol.
The king is a false equivalency. Fascism is socialism. Authoritarianism is an overarching concept which only capitalism can stand against, because capitalism, while it has its own faults, is the closest to what we can imagine a modern democracy being. All of this stuff, he's just like pitching it like taka 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 taka.
Those were the barbarians at the gate. And they were mad as hell. And you know what they're mad about? They were mad because they think they're going to fall further and further behind. They weren't mad, and they thought Donald Trump was the one that could do it for them. But that's why they stormed the Capitol. And when I saw it, I said, that could be our future if we let the haves and the have-nots get so separated.
I think
There's nothing to say that I haven't already said.
everybody knows that probably every single billionaire does evade taxes. And he did say that he wants billionaires to be taxed so high, but I can promise you he probably has found ways to evade taxes.
Back in around like 1940s,
Well, let me go take a piss really quick. I just didn't want you guys to have to be exposed to this fucking cunt without me. Okay?
The tax rate was around like 90s, higher than 90%, right? Would you be somebody that would advocate to bring back such a high tax rate?
There you go. This is a comrade, for example, but a comrade that's still not there yet, which God bless. I respect this gentleman. He's like, oh, FDR time, 90%. This was based as shit. It already happened. I'm rushing my argument. I apologize. Too many beers in, honestly, and too much hype from the hype train. When you believe you need to make an argument to Americans that something is doable only because it happened before in America, it usually implies some internalized American exceptionalism, because you cannot compare the American experiment to anywhere else, because de facto the American experiment is very different. The American nation, the American state, etc., is very different than anywhere else. So you deep down inside believe that you need to introduce an argument presupposed by an American historical event. So you cannot talk about, for example, China, and you shouldn't, because you would lose the argument, right? You cannot say, oh, China is the fastest developing country in the history of humanity, and they treat their billionaires a very particular way versus how we treat ours. Should we shoot billionaires when we find out that they engaged in corruption? Is not an argument that he can make because of the American exceptionalist attitude. So the only argument he can make is, for example, utilizing FDR, etc., etc. That's why I call him a baby comrade, because, he's still playing that whole game. You shouldn't be playing that whole game except on platforms like this. So baby from one perspective, very decent pitch from another, because he understands the context he is in, etc., etc., etc. You get my fucking point.
Rate in order to redistribute the wealth?
I don't know about 90%, because you got to have some motivation. Listen, I am a capitalist. I believe in capitalism. But I also believe we have to do the most for the most with least.
So when you mentioned...
Because you don't want to get shot in the back of the head, okay? The concentration camp prisoners should be given clean clothes and 3 meals a day. Dessert every Saturday, and they can play soccer on Sunday. But, sir, are we still shooting them at the end of every 6 months? Yeah, of course we are. But if we don't give them the meals, there's going to be revolts. And if there's revolts, we got to have more guards, which is more salaries for guards. We got to pay guards more to be quiet because they're executing motherfuckers, okay? A lot of them are going to be quitting because nobody wants to fucking shoot children in the head. So we got to give them the meals. The meals are going to cost right now Obergruppenführer, but... long term, we're going to have less revolts at the camp, and we're going to have a far more optimized gassing system. Hell, you can give some of the workers, this is now an allegory for the professional managerial class, the labor aristocracy, you can give some of the concentration camp prisoners 4 meals a day, and you can give them dessert 3 days a week, and you can give them physical exercise literally every day. And in return, they will probably do free labor for you. They will bury the bodies. They will calm people down before they enter concentration camps. This, by the way, happened. You had prisoner collaborators like so often. And they will, we don't have to pay them anything. So that also works. This is, I'm taking it to steroids, but this is all his pitch pretty much. That's why you should never trust these fucking freaks, because they are not the same as you, okay? You need to, if it is necessary, you should unironically engage in a form of unadulterated, stereotyped bigotry against people whose material conditions are so vastly different to you, because they are the closest inside of our species to something that is genuinely not the same as you. They're not like us literally, absolutely. Your neighbor that happens to be white and you're black, no, he's very similar to you. Neighbor that happens to be lesbian while you're straight, nah, pretty much completely the same to you. Billionaires, large-scale capitalists. They are genuinely not members of the same species. They are not to be treated or interacted with on the same ethical grounds as someone else. That being said, though, they are also a result of the system we find ourselves in. I'm never jealous of them, and I never judge them, because they're simply playing very well at the game that we were all handed, right? I'm not jealous. The reason I don't like them, the reason I don't trust them, the reason I invoke that it is arguably ethical to generalize them and to be bigoted against them all on a large scale and to dehumanize them as much as possible is exactly because they've abandoned their humanity. They have chosen service to an inhuman system over the question that they ask themselves every single morning when they wake up. And I'm 100% sure they do. Which is, you know what? Why don't I stop? And when you don't answer that question with I should, after you've accumulated more than $1 billion, you're no longer human.
Capitalism, right? Capitalism is kind of inherently parasitical, right? You're going to always take more from the workers. You're going to put a profit on their labor that they're putting into the business. And I think now we're seeing that capitalism inherently causes these income inequalities. So I think we need to expand those social safety nets. We need to.
They're not though good at the system. They're born into success. Yes, the majority of them are born. Absolutely, you're completely correct. But you get my point. Even if they're born into success, sure, it limits their ability because the only thing they've ever known is massive wealth. It limits their ability to question the efficacy of it, which then reproduces the same models of behavior, etc., etc. But even if we ignore all the people that have inherited all of this, even if we limit what it means to inherit wealth, only people that have inherited more than $10 million. Let's say we don't count Jeff Bezos because, I don't know, they gave him a couple of $100,000 to start his business. Let's not count Jeff Bezos as a daddy's boy. Let's not. Even under that context, waking up every morning and just going along with it is beyond absurd. I vomited once because I was just walking down the street and I saw too many fucking homeless dudes in a fucking row shooting the fuck up at like fucking 4 a.m. or whatever. Call me fucking sick to my stomach even though I can't do anything to help them. These dudes know very well what they can do with the capital that they have amassed. And every morning they wake up choosing not to do it. So if all of you can shed a tear every time you see someone fucking barely surviving, while knowing that most likely you can do very little to help them, and they do not shed a tear while knowing that they can fucking alleviate entire countries of poverty, should insinuate an incredible amount of either mental disease or evil. Do you speak Russian? A little bit. Все понимаю, но говорю очень плохо, да? Why? Why we need Russian? What's happening? What am I supposed to read? What am I supposed to read, chat? Billionaire morning routine. Maid wakes up at 5 to prepare breakfast, get dressed by another servant, throw an orphan into the gaping maw of the demons of capitalism for sacrifice. Eat some breakfast. Why are you asking me if anybody's... What am I supposed to translate? The capital owning class is the most class-conscious class in general, since they must understand the systems of oppression to keep them in their position. 100%. This gentleman in front of us is a Marxist. This gentleman in front of us is a pure Marxist. He just understands that he is the member of the bourgeois, that he needs to protect his class interests as the member of the bourgeois. He understands that all of history is class conflict. He's just on the other side of the conflict, and he will protect it. The first person, I've said this story before, the first person that has ever said that reading Marx is supposed to be mandatory is one of the richest people that I've ever met. I had this like stupid whatever startup where we used freelancers from a university. We did it was like a mini production firm that could buy us beer and shots at the club, which I did parallel while I was studying. I did it with two exceptionally privileged dudes, rich dudes that came with the capital. They came with the knowledge because I did an internship for an ad agency or whatever. So we went around to the small businesses, mid-sized businesses or whatever, and we did ads for them on Facebook back then, and like just adjusted their fucking ad algorithm. It was very easy shit. It was very little money, but it was still decent. For those two dudes, they didn't care about money. They did it because they could feel like an entrepreneur or whatever the fuck, and they masturbated to it. So thanks to that interaction with those two people, I got to meet one of the parents of one of the two dudes, who is like a CEO of a bank and like owns a chain of like gold stores all over the Balkan Peninsula, like an absurdly wealthy dude. And we are at fucking lunch, and we are fucking talking. His sister is there, his dad is there, and his mom is there. And he asked like, "Oh, what are you learning right now in college?" Blah blah blah. And the guy was only studying business. He asked me, I'm studying business and political science, and I mentioned that we did a couple of philosophers in the previous semester. Right now, I'm really into at that point. I was really into Marx, and I mentioned I don't give a shit. I'm unironically just interested to see if what this hyper capitalist guy's perspective is going to be about Marx. The second he sees Marx leaving my fucking mouth, he turns over to his son and he says, "Have you read Marx?" And the son is like, "Who?" And he's like, "Karl Marx." And he's like, "I don't know who that is." And he's like, I'm literally going to send you articles and send you some of the intro shit that I have in my own library on Marxism that you need to read. If you want to make money in this life, you have to read Marx. Word for word, if you want to make money in this life, you need to read Marx. This is a man who is a CEO of a fucking regional bank who also owns a massive fucking gold chain store.
Wonderful, a new child soldier.
And yet you will have broke boys being fucking capitalists, Well, actual capitalists, motherfuckers with money, motherfuckers with hundreds of workers. And we're like, no, he's completely correct. I just am on the other side. I'm crossing myself, which in my culture means literally I'm swearing on what I just said. That shit fucking happened. That shit fucking happened. Maybe I'm not wording exactly what he said, like 100%. It was like a decade ago, but you get my point. So what was the Russian stuff? She was asking for me. I have a document from 1928. It's a magazine discussing housing, and I need to know if it's worth it. Need someone to translate a magazine from 1928. I mean, I'm going out drinking with Russians later. If you send it to the mods and they post it in our mod chat over on Discord, I'll look at it unironically with the Russians and Ukrainians I'm going out with later, and I can tell you if it's legit or not. Capitalists without capitalists, possibly one of the most pathetic social groups. It is literally the most pathetic social group. You never ask a capitalist bootlicker or billionaire who believes in hard work means success why the construction workers or shipyard workers aren't as rich as Elon or Gates. Of course. Being smart enough to read Marx but not smart enough to understand the long-term harm capitalism does is a special kind of stupid. It is. It is, but it's also utilitarian. That gentleman was purely utilitarian. It is him and his family versus everyone else. That is why, unfortunately, while family needs to be at the forefront of the socialist argument, I completely agree with that. I have a whole video on that. It is also, unfortunately, a very easy tool to be manipulated by reactionaries. What do I mean specifically? I'm not talking about just straight people bias and so on. No, a much more complex pitch here. When a billionaire does it just for themselves, they inherently, because they're human beings, will feel bad, right? Or a multimillionaire, etc., etc., because they are selfish. If you make a lot of money just for yourself, you're selfish. But if you say that you're making a lot of money for your family, you're doing it all for your family, then it's no longer that selfish sounding, is it? Then it's even wise, But the question is, what about the other thousands of families that you're impoverishing? We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. So it just, for me, sounds selfish. That's why nobody wants to admit it to themselves. I do it for my kids. It's very different, while ignoring all the other kids of your species. Right? There's a whole, that's the whole twist, isn't it, in Breaking Bad? For a very long... the Walter White argument. What the fuck? You're reading my mind. Lick spoon, motherfucker. Son of a bitch. I swear I didn't read your post first. That's literally the Walter White, but also the development of the character. For so long, he was like, for the family, for the family, for the family. And then you see, because it's a very well-written show, towards the end, I think he talks to his wife or something. He admits, I did it, and it literally crushes him. It literally destroys him. I did it for myself. I did it for myself. This. I'll play the whole thing. I don't care. Spoiler warning for those who have not watched Breaking Bad. Please tune off or
Call
mute.
the DEA once I leave. Tell them I was here, that I forced my way in.
This is a capitalist, but only after having lost everything. That's the mother of all irony, and that's also very good writing. Only after having lost everything, being able to engage in a proper retrospective and understanding that the main motivational factor for everything he did was not enlightened. Okay? It was greed for the sake of greed. It was the abandonment of the human instinct for one motivated by an inhuman system.
Tell them I wanted bacon and eggs on my birthday. And that I gave you that ticket. Those numbers are GPS coordinates.
For what?
A burial site. That's where they'll find Hank and Steve Gomez. It's where I buried our money. And the men who stole it from us, the men who still have it, they murdered Hank and Steve and put them in that hole. Now you trade that for a deal with the prosecutor. You get yourself out of this. Skylar. Skylar. All the things that I did. You need to understand.
I have to hear one more time that you did this for the family.
I did it for me. I liked it. I was good at it. I was alive.
But here the big question is, why did him becoming the mastermind and the leader of a massive criminal capitalist organization make him feel alive? This is the difference between liberals and Marxists. Liberals will say because that is the human drive to be bigger, to grow in hierarchy, to establish oneself with dominance over those who surround him. The Marxian point is because motherfucker was a product of the United States of America. Motherfucker was a product of capitalism. Motherfucker thought that his life had amounted to nothing, even though he did such an incredible, beautiful job by educating hundreds of kids as a professional teacher. No, his life meant nothing, for he had accrued no capital. The reason he felt alive and felt good because he had made more capital is because he internalized the ideology of more capital equals success. More capital equals
I was alive.
Being alive. Pretty interesting topics we're exploring today, chat. Pretty interesting topics. But yes, to just repeat, unless you misunderstood, you are products of the systems that you find yourself in, which inform what makes you feel alive and what doesn't. You never managed to get out of that, let's say, snake eating its own ass.
Increase taxes on the wealthy in order to allow the poor to enjoy, the things that maybe you enjoyed when you were younger and things like that.
Well, look, I agree with you. And I think it's really for these people who are so rich, they're going to lose it one way or the other if they don't. Because look, the thing about, you got socialism and capitalism. Socialism.
He's doubling down.
On paper makes a lot of sense. But then you got to.
But capitalism in practice and on paper makes no sense.
Count on everybody working. Will they all work? But in the short run.
But in capitalism, we don't. Capitalists don't have to work. What? In socialism, bad because we have to count on everybody working. That is why capitalism is superior, where the guys making the most money do the least work. I am smart man. But it's interesting to see, just from a psychological perspective, the little internal manipulations he's doing because he does want to feel like a good guy. That's why he's here. That's why he's, making weed legal, etc., etc. He wants to sleep well at night, so he needs to do these self-manipulation talking points in order to get there.
What we're seeing right now with this big, beautiful bill that they're talking about, we're talking about cutting all sorts of benefits to give more money to the rich and dig a run. What we're seeing right now with this big, will they all work? But in the short run, what we're seeing right now with this pound.
What? What, bro? What?
Because look, the thing about, you got socialism and capitalism. Socialism on paper makes a lot of sense. But then you got to count on everybody working. Will they all work? But in the short run, what we're seeing right now with this big, beautiful bill that they're talking about, we're talking about cutting all sorts of benefits to give more money to the rich and dig our country into trillions of...
What does that have to do with socialism?
More long-term debt. And I look at it and I scratch my head. The rich should be taxed bigger and harder. And so,
okay, so he was talking about, the opposite to socialism, whose entire counter-argument is everybody will have to work, which everyone already does in capitalism. Everybody already works in capitalism, even though they're getting less fruits of their labor and it's somehow implied that in socialism, where they're getting more fruits of their labor, they're gonna work less? What? Which I guess is the argument that there's no like incentive for you to work without the profit motive, which I'm not even going to touch that. Like that is the. If I need to explain this to you, you unironically maybe don't belong in this chat, and I respect you, and you can ask other chatters, but this is like 101 shit.
So the reason I'm more for capitalism is because if you go to a socialistic country like France,
France is not socialist.
Or for capitalism because if you go to a socialistic country like France,
France is not socialist.
France is not.
No, you look at, let's say China. We'll give China for example.
China's not. China's communism. I've been to China.
China's not communist.
Huh?
China's not communist. They're run by the Chinese Communist Party, but they're not.
What are they?
They're a socialist country.
Socialist?
Yes. And you.
You don't have.
Look at their infrastructure.
Hey man, I've been to China.
Their wealth inequality, and it's actually pretty good.
Have you ever been to China?
Have I?
Have you ever been? The classic argument. Was you in USSR? Was you in USSR? Why you talk like this? USSR, was you there?
No.
Let me tell you something. It is the most oppressed country I've ever been to.
Look, no.
No, it's not. Good job. Yes! That's my boy. Go. Let's go, baby.
China is not oppressed. Look at China. China they have great social safety nets.
You need to go to China and watch the.
My argument is you gotta go to China.
People with their heads down.
This is a complete.
With their heads down, but the people have their heads down.
Different China we're talking about. I'm talking.
I'm not China today.
I'm talking. Yeah. Okay. If we're talking about China today, then no.
Then you have drank the wrong Kool-Aid.
One of us, maybe one of us, because he was like, oh fuck, he got you there because of the thing, but not from any other perspective. Cuckold. Oh my god, massive cuckold. Holy shit. Holy mother of cuckolds, okay? Little smirky cuckold right here. Fucking queen. What is it? Like a woman cuckold. Like a cuck queen on steroids. Billionaire man, very funny. Got him. Nobody's better than America, cuckold. She's like, oh shit, please, bro. Like, come on, dude. You still got this. One of us. I don't know. This also looks like a cuck. I fucking hate. Okay, no, I love Americans. No, I genuinely do. But you guys make it so very difficult. You make it so very fucking difficult. You make it so fucking difficult.
Yeah. Okay. If we're talking about China today, then no.
Then you.
The man does not give a counter argument. He just says you drank Kool-Aid. Like, we are supposed to trust you on every argument you make, but he's not going to give any respect to anybody in the opposite sector because I was in China, bro. I saw with my own eyes very oppressed people with head down. They have head down, very oppressed people. Were you there is the argument of a flailing apologist. China, were you there? Big Bang, were you there? Exactly. Were you there during the Inquisition? Then why the fuck are you talking about the Inquisition?
You have drank the wrong Kool-Aid.
I was like, oh, I'm the only Asian person in the room, so it's like so weird to see somebody kind of like debate about a country that my mom is from.
Shut the fuck up. Jesus fucking.
I would have to agree with John.
Fucking Americans.
And more in terms of like China being a communist country.
John, I'm a.
Fucking Americans! Oh my god! Lord, help me!
Parent. And
I'm not even going. The bar is buried miles below hell. I need another beer. Why are you talking about an Asian country? I agree with the billionaire more about them being communist. What does that even mean? My mom was from. Oh. Oh, we are building a monument right here to Lenin. Who would shoot all of us? Okay. Oh my God, that was Kino, bro. That was pure Kino. That's pure Kino. Cheers, shot. I love you. There you go. So you can see my monument back there. Bro is literally this. A KGB spy and a CIA agent meet up in a bar for a friendly drink. Oh yeah, I've told this joke before. I'll say it again. I have to admit, I'm always so impressed by Soviet propaganda. You really know how to get people worked up, the CIA agent says. Thank you, the KGB agent says. We do our best, but truly, it's nothing compared to American propaganda. Your people believe everything your state media tells them. The CIA agent drops his drink in shock and disgust. Thank you, friend, but you must be confused. There's no propaganda in America. And usually there's a line where the KGB agent says, hey, exactly. Oh. There's a trap. Don't ever get caught up in the specifics of what China's system is. China is communist. I don't care. We should do what they're doing because whatever it is, it seems to be working. Yeah, I was cringing at the whole conversation from the fucking get-go. Our bro here is a lovely human being, and he was trying to do a thing. I respect the thing. And my culture is not your talking point. Why are they talking about China and not including an American? Oh. It's one thing to say, why are all of these white people talking, why are all of these white Americans talking about what Asian Americans are like without including an Asian American? And a completely different thing is, an American, I don't give a shit what fucking skin color you are, being like, why aren't you asking the person that looks a lot like the people from the country that you're talking about in America? Why are they not included in the conversation? Yeah, sorry, I'm not doing liberal identity politics. I will never fucking toe the line on that shit. I will never toe the line on that shit. No, fuck that shit. Oh, and fuck that lady. Holy shit, dude. Oh my God. Maybe she'll get old. She'll get older. She'll get wiser. She'll get a little bit better. She'll go visit China. And then she'll probably come back home and be an asshole to her parents because she was like, Mom, Dad, why the fuck did you move out of China? Shit's fucking awesome.
Challenges I have is making sure that my mindset is not my children's mindset. How do you overcome that challenge as a billionaire to make sure your children have their own mindsets?
What fucking, who gives a fuck? What is this? This guy's just sucking dick.
That's hard to do because they live with you and they hear you. The interesting thing about life is you get older, you start listening to your children, you're like, they're stealing all my shit.
Skip? I'm not skipping. No, I want to see his personality. I'm not skipping.
I did that. But what I used to tell them is this. When you're watching me, take the good parts and leave the bad parts. And the thing...
Whoa, parenting.
I used to tell my kids is the only thing that
This is to humanize him, right? This is completely to humanize him. That was one of his guys in there just asking a question just to humanize him, okay? So we have a parallel. Okay, so we have instability equals killing all billionaires because you will have January 6th. Billionaires can be good because they want you to have illegal weed. You Kool-Aid drinking cuckold, how dare you say anything positive about China? And now we're going to humanize him by listening about how he's a great parent, right? Let's do it.
Want you to be.
Which is supposed to signify to your subconscious that because he's a great parent, he's probably a very decent boss and a very decent manager, and he has the ability to push people to do what they need without oppressing them, which is the key template of what a good leader should be, and therefore he actually deserves his wealth. Okay, this is marketing. It's PR.
I don't care what you are other than this. I want you to be a compassionate human being. I want you to put other people first. And
this is the biggest cuckold of this whole show. They, like everything this man says, they switch to this lady.
That's the only mindset that I wanted them to take, and I think that they have done that.
One of my goals, I think, is to make my kids better than me. What's your main challenge?
Why the fuck did he bring his secretary to the fucking interview? Why the fuck did he bring his secretary to the Jubilee, bro? He brought his secretary to the Jubilee.
That you see as a billionaire making your kids better than you.
The main challenge is that your children do not feel entitled. There's nothing worse than an entitled person.
You don't have to feel entitled as a billionaire. De facto, you are entitled. There's another word for it. It's called fucking privilege. That's why it's a more scientific term, motherfucker.
Somebody who was born with a silver spoon stuck up their butt, and they become the worst person in the world. I never bought my kids nice cars because I knew they were going to be dinged. And you have to...
He can buy a car every day. He can buy $100,000 car every day and not even feel it.
Make
just keep in mind.
your kids work. You have to have...
Yeah, give them high-paying managerial jobs. Or if you're a smart capitalist, give them like starter jobs where they'll never properly experience the starter job because everybody there will know that this is the kid of the fucking CEO. All classic shit.
Have consequences that are consistent, but the main thing you have to do, if I was...
Yes, you cannot have a triple-plated diamond ring this month, Betty. I only bought my kids gold spoons instead of silver spoons because I don't want them to be spoiled. He didn't help his kids out. They only got one hotel to own/run.
Advice as a parent, you got to spend a whole lot of time. It's all about the time. And remember this.
I didn't buy nice cars because you moronic poor people don't know how to have nice things. Absolutely. Or even better, I didn't buy them nice cars because I wanted to properly teach them how to be a smart capitalist like myself, who will not flaunt wealth, but generate it. Because we don't want to get shot in the street. Something, Super Smash Bros. Something, NFL office.
As a parent, you got to spend a whole lot of time. It's all about the time. And remember this, your child is one friend away from total disaster. And when you see that friend, you got to separate that friend as hard as it is.
So you just mentioned
his kid hung out with a person from a middle-class family. He's talking about his kid making friends with like a normal kid. His kid hung out with someone whose parents do not own 7 mansions. And he was like, this was awful! My child came back home and started talking to me about, are we the baddies or some fucking shit? What the fuck? My kid was drinking beer instead of champagne, you fucking barbarian dog. Oh God. My kid came home after I let him do a sleepover with one of the poors, and she asked me, Dad, why is our garage the size of their entire house? I can't have my child being around those brokies. Your child cannot know that he's being groomed into being inhuman by hanging out with actual human beings. What this question shows to me is how cucked we are to the billionaire equals good, wise dynamic. We are so cucked to billionaire, extremely wealthy person, like father figure. Immediately father figure. But I like to twist it. Immediately bull, or whatever the fucking term is, okay? They're cucks, dude. They're cucks. If your reaction to a super wealthy capitalist isn't immediately one of disgust, you are and not in a cool, sexy way, socially a submissive and economically a fucking cuckold, okay? What do you mean your goddamn friend lives in an apartment? First, you go and you see an apartment, and next thing you know, you're going to be doing heroin. Don't you know there's a direct pipeline between not living in a mansion and doing fucking crack? Oh. Immediately whips out the skin tone, the skin tone graph. Okay, you can be friends with them. Oh, God, no. Oh. What do you mean your friend's parents are rentoids?
See that friend? You got to separate that friend as hard as it is.
So you just mentioned that when you have a child who is having a friend that you find them to be not good for them, essentially, that you have to do what you can to separate them. As a billionaire, what does that entail for you?
Well, you can only do so much. I mean, I've only separated 2 friends in all the years. And one was a kid who used to come over and, you know, he just reeked of marijuana and he was stoned and I just had a bad vibe. And I said, look, so-and-so, you can't go over there and he can't come over here. My son Matthew.
He was doing substances because he was coping with something. That implies that he actually has struggle. You cannot hang out with people that come from struggle. Oh. Also, like, hires a hitman, assassinates the child's whole family. Oh. This guy was also supposed to be pro-weed, right? Oh my God, pizza famine, what the fuck? This is the best video I've watched in my life.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
This broke me. For those of you who came in later in the stream, this man donated money to legalize weed. And that was his big pitch, like, I'm a progressive, I'm an open-minded individual. I'm not like the oligarchs, I'm just a billionaire. And the first thing he says about who he wouldn't want his kids to hang out with are motherfuckers doing weed. This is the greatest fucking contradiction of my lifetime. Only as contradicting as watching ads. So support the show for $6 a month. Contribute to me being 1% of a 1% of as wealthy as him. And in return, you get to feel good. Jesus Christ. Oh.
He was enraged. You can't tell me who's going to...
Apparently he himself smokes weed every day, though. Really? That would be funny.
Here. My son Matthew was enraged. You can't tell me who's going to be my friend. I said, I'm
going to kill him. Do you know how much money we have, Billy? I will murder your friend and everyone he's ever interacted with. I have narco cartel connections, motherfucker.
I'm telling you, you can't go there and they can't come here. But you can't stop them at school. You can't stop them at a certain point. Later in life, I was justified because that kid that I was worried about ended up in prison.
I'm someone who...
School, you can't stop them at a certain point. Later in life, I was justified because that kid that I was worried about ended up in prison.
I'm someone who worked.
The Zoom. So why you wanted to get him out of prison? That's why you donated money to anti weed legislation.
With youth in Orlando, I spend every moment of my days to coach and develop the youth in Orlando. And I work with at-risk youth. And one of the biggest things that I have seen in Orlando is that since medical marijuana was passed as a bill in Florida, marijuana use has become normalized among the youth and those that are.
Ah, so you're that type of fucking guy. This man would not have a great time in my part of the world. So, Mr. Billionaire Man, there was one good thing you did. Help legalize marijuana. I am going to talk shit about that one good thing that you've done. Okay? I'm not going to talk shit about you being a parasite of your species, a disgusting fucking leech on the economy. No, the one good thing you've done, which is give $8 million to legalize weed, that's what I'm going to talk shit about. This man would eat so many fucking elbows every fucking day in my part of the world. This is the type, okay, I'm like, it's TOS. And also it's, yeah. He would not have shoes. You understand what that means? He would not have shoes. Just for a fucking meme, we'd fucking strip him every fucking day. We'd fucking strip him and take his fucking every day. Not because we can wear the fucking shoes. Just for the fucking lulz. Just for the fucking lulz.
Or underage.
Make him smoke weed just to get the shoes back.
One of the things that you mentioned earlier is...
Of course, I've never done that in my life. That I deeply am against that sort of behavior.
That you didn't allow your son to be friends with someone who smoked pot.
Thank you, Vapor Rubbed, for the 5 gifties. Thank you for contributing to the show and fighting the good old fight.
Because he smelled loud and he smoked weed. So, as a bill in Florida, marijuana use has become normalized among the youth and those that are underaged. One of the things that you mentioned earlier is that you didn't allow your son to be friends with someone.
Yeah, sure, it's bad that kids smoke weed, but now they don't have to go to a guy that has a fucking Glock in his fucking belt and can sell them shit that is laced. I coach troubled youth. Motherfucker just means black people, probably. I am a white man that educates the blacks. And now the blacks are doing more weed because it's everywhere.
Who smoked pot because he smelled loud and he smoked weed. So why would you advocate for a bill like that to be passed?
Literally, the one good thing this fucking guy did. He has a billionaire in the same room as him that has done one good thing, which is donate money to legalize a narcotic that has put millions of people in jail for no fucking reason just because they wanted to smoke a fucking blunt. And he's like, this is the one thing I'm going to grind you on. Yeah, I'm not smelled loud. Sure, he said it by accident, blah, 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 because he's a fucking idiot. But
asked when you kicked someone out of your family's circle who was smoking weed themselves?
When my brother was paralyzed.
Oh, there you go. That last point was okay.
They had him on Percocet, Xanax, and everything else. The only thing that gave him relief, immediate relief,
was a bit of my goddamn money.
Was marijuana.
That's marijuana. Oh, he's marijuana for the medicine. Marijuana for the medicine.
Listen, I believe that marijuana use at an early age fries the mind. I drug tested my.
I believe that injecting capitalist ideology at a young age fries the mind. That is why I would make capitalism illegal. Do 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 do. Who is this hog? The people's billionaire, man.
My children, a lot. And my son Matthew failed that drug test a lot. But here's the difference. Would I rather have my brother taking marijuana gummy or opioids, fentanyl? It's a no-brainer. So I don't think marijuana use is on the rise. Let me tell you something. If you want marijuana today, go to any middle school in America.
Yep.
And we'll have a nickel bag real fast.
Yeah. So do you feel that there's an ethical gray area when it comes to use of marijuana or other drugs in the youth or in adults in our country? And do you think that that leads to potentially a ethical gray area for you as a billionaire as it relates to other things in your life?
An ethical gray area for you as a billionaire. That was the sentence that came out of arguably the dumbest person I've ever seen in my life's mouth. So you're a billionaire. The fact that you're a billionaire by itself, that is not an ethical gray area. That is a dark, gaping, never-ending black hole of morals under the perspective of every religion, every culture, every historic civilization to ever exist, okay? Egyptian pharaohs would look at this gentleman and be like, what the fuck? This guy is weird as shit, man. I just build a fucking pyramid for myself and bury myself in it. This dude doesn't even build pyramids and has more money than probably our entire dynasty ever had. What the fuck, okay? So the motherfucker has somebody like this in the room and he's like, so, like, what's your, like, ethical compass when it comes to, like, fucking pot, bro? What's your ethical compass when it comes to weed, dude? Oh, Lord.
Medical marijuana, no way. Because listen, where I think the unethical conduct is coming from is from the pharmaceutical industry. Marijuana is a plant that was put into earth.
This dude definitely sells weed. I couldn't find something. If somebody in chat that is very good at doing very quick research can check out, this dude has invested. Can we see his portfolio? Is his portfolio public? This mother invested in weed. This mother invested in weed.
By God or by nature, and it works. I don't know how it works. I don't know how aloe works, but when you rub aloe on sunscreen, it goes away. So I feel very good, morally, ethically, every single way about what I did with medical marijuana. And here's
and to an extent you should, and that's exactly why in this Jubilee propaganda video we keep asking you about how much you love your kids and how good you were when it comes to this, but you were interrupted by an evil communist. An evil communist that is like, billionaire, that's okay. Weed, that is where I draw the line. Like,
Everybody, this is my father, Cornelius.
Appropriate. And maybe you'll give that more weight since I'm white.
You've got a wide
wait, no, where the fuck is that scene?
brow. What are you, Scandinavian?
Yeah, Swedish.
Swedish dogs? Your blood is tainted by generations of race mixing with Laplanders. You're basically Finns.
Oh my goodness, he's like the opposite of racism.
Okay, since no one's willing to ask, what's going on with your hair?
Ordinary toupee hairs.
I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at animal cruelty.
You can excuse racism.
So, what?
It's the proof in the pudding. 1 million people in Florida have a card, and guess who uses?
But the reason I play the clip. What the fuck?
Let the band play.
Was young Dolph playing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't need a label, came in with my own cake. Okay.
What the fuck? Look, I didn't even play. Because it immediately playlist.
Ever since then, that big head motherfucker been hating. How it feel to be a fuck nigga? Congratulations. How it feel, pussy?
Young Adolf in the house.
You know how the game go. Cracking seals and counting M's. What I wanna change for? Rich Millie diamonds dancing. Bitch, look at the rain. Used to slam 100 bags a week.
Rest in peace, brother. Literally one of the greats, Matt. Maybe the greatest of our little decade. At least up until 2015 to when he died.
And here's the proof in the pudding. 1 million people in Florida have a card.
I'm going to leave you with the billionaire just to go with like a quick piss. Protect your bum holes and protect your peepees and vajayjays because these motherfuckers be grabbing everything.
And guess who uses it mostly? People 65 and older. Go to the marijuana stores. Look at the marijuana stores. Look who's going in. It ain't kids. It's me.
Yeah, so I'm still really confused about the marijuana thing. I feel like with a lot of billionaires, they do want to care for people, but they really don't want them around them. So that's what I feel that you feel with the marijuana. You're fine with people growing it. You're fine with people doing whatever. But right when it's in your house, you don't really care about the person. You want them not around you or your family.
I'd take a gummy every night. It's in my house what are you talking about?
Then why did you kick the person out of your house?
He was a kid who I thought was, not just that he reeked of marijuana, he was a kid who I thought was bad news. I didn't think that he was smoking marijuana. I thought he was selling marijuana. Look, I think all of Matthew's friends smoke marijuana, and so that wasn't the issue. The issue was this guy might be a criminal. This guy is a bad influence. So don't take it the wrong way.
Okay, so you kind of briefly talked on like for-profit CEOs and things like that. I was just kind of hoping to hear your take on the current state of, healthcare and what recently.
He's the only guy actually asking any questions. I just came back, sorry, but the only guy who seems to be an open fucking leftist, this gentleman, is the only one actually asking questions that aren't fucking prepaid or whatever. What did I miss?
Not around you or your family.
I'd take
So that's what I feel that you feel with the marijuana. You're fine with people.
Jesus, why do you keep asking him about fucking weed? I'm spilling drinks all over myself. Why the fuck are we talking about fucking marijuana? Like, did they bring a fucking local drug dealer, or did they bring a fucking billionaire who's fucking built chains, exploited fucking labor, used? Oh my God!
You're fine with people doing whatever, but right when it's in your house, you don't really care about the person. You want them not around you or your family.
Okay, yeah, but I know. Give it a sec. I know exactly where she was gonna go. But still, like, why are they focusing on the little hypocritical thing that he said, which was hypocritical? I agree. Instead of his existence being hypocritical because he's a billionaire, his existence is hypocritical. That's why I love Barry. So, why is he on Jubilee? Get ready. Why is he on Jubilee right now? Why is he on Jubilee? Come on. Look at your screens right now.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
And we got it. There we go. That's why I love you, Barry, dude. I fucking love you, you fucking cunt. You piece of shit. He hasn't decided if he'll run, but he does have a plan for how he'd do it. The same way Trump was not running for president, but he had a plan on how to do it. In before he runs for governor, and I milk it for content for another 6 months. A billionaire running on a liberal platform. Who would have thunk? It's truly a new thing, never seen before. Who would have thunk? Is it just a for... Also, marijuana legalization is part of his platform? Of course it is. Motherfuckers hitting all the... Motherfuckers hitting all the libertarian fucking talking points, dude.
Take a gummy every night. It's in my house it's
not around you or your family.
I'd take a gummy every night. It's in my house what are you talking about?
Then why did you kick the person out of your house?
He was a kid who I thought was, not just that he reeked of marijuana, he was a kid who I thought was bad news. I didn't think that he was smoking marijuana.
You know why? Because he's building a platform. He's building an argument where he is only pro marijuana because it is helpful when dealing with heavily painful diseases and other sorts. But he is not pro marijuana when it is consumed on large by social deviants, by the urban types, etc., etc. Okay, he's building a platform for his either future campaign or a platform because he's a billionaire and he runs massive corporations for his employees and so on. That's pretty much it. That's how you're just building a pitch. Weed good, but for health, but weed for the urban youth, not so good.
I thought he was selling marijuana. Look, I think all of Matthew's friends smoke marijuana, and so that wasn't the issue. The issue was this guy might be a criminal. This guy is a bad influence. So don't take it the wrong way.
So why did you earlier only specify that he was reeking of marijuana as the main argument and not the fact that he might be a criminal? The reason you did so is because you want to convince the audience that is listening to you that you are not a pro-drugs guy. You are a pro-medicine guy, and weed is medicine. But when weed is not used as medicine, exemplified by the example that you used, I kicked out the kid and didn't allow it to be friends with my kid because they reeked of marijuana. You are differentiating yourself from policymakers or rich people that finance drug legalization for that particular reason, for, consuming for the sake of consuming and not for medical purposes. There you go. You have a fucking answer on why he did it. Am I right? I'm always right. Duh.
Bye.
Okay, so you kind of briefly talked on for-profit.
He's like bringing it back. Like, okay.
CEOs and things like that. I was just kind of...
Be careful. Don't talk about China. Don't talk about China. We have this lady over here, okay? You cannot talk about China. Sorry. Sorry, don't talk about the Soviet Union because this guy's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm Russian." Oh, how dare you? What do you mean you're Russian? My great grandmother was.
Kind of hoping to hear your take.
Communist France.
Take on the current state of healthcare and what recently occurred with their CEO.
Before I answer
this lady was party meme, they don't know. Why are there all versions that are not empty? Okay, I'll just use this one. Why are they all like... China is communist. No, China is socialist. Well, you didn't go to China. I don't have to go to China to realize what I think is true. Oh, you must have drank a lot of Kool-Aid. They do not know. My mother was Chinese. Oh, it's communist. Oh, it's socialist. They don't know. My mother is Chinese. Oh.
That question, I want to go back to the coach's question about marijuana just so everybody understands where I stand. If John Morgan was king, I'd legalize marijuana all over the country and I'd let you grow it at your house. So that's how I feel about marijuana.
There you go, and it works on all of them. They want a daddy figure to cuckold them in financial manners because he is cool and based and loves weed.
As far as...
Yeehaw, motherfucker. God bless the United States of America. God bless, God bless. Walk all over my rights, walk all over my labor value. As long as you're a funny little old white man in a suit, I'ma vote for you, I'ma kill for you, or I'ma die for you. God bless, God bless.
There's a healthcare. Think about this for a minute. There's only one place that we go ever.
Here's a sub so you can pay for your free healthcare. Thank you, Jokula, one of the OGs from the OGs. Thank you very much. I hope you're back home so I don't fucking say where you're from. You're defending healthcare as a proud soldier.
And we never ask what it cost. When you go to get your hair cut, what's the cost? When you go to buy a candy bar, what's the cost? When you walk into a hospital, None of us ever asked what it's going to cost. You can get a Tylenol pill over here for 20 bucks. It could be $1 at the other hospital. The of the insurance industry by health care is awful. It's off the charts. Our pharmaceuticals in this country are way more money than pharmaceuticals in his favorite country, China. And so you've got the health care where we don't ask what things cost. And then you got insurance companies who are fighting health care, and they're trying to...
Did he say the R word?
Gouge. The hospitals are trying to gouge. The insurance companies are trying to not be gouged. They're fighting. And guess who's stuck in the middle? The person who needs treatment, the person who has cancer, and they're saying, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. And then what happens? People go postal. People snap.
So would you be...
You know, we need to give them health care to some extent because otherwise they're going to kill us. The guy's literally agitating for riot tax. I'm tired of repeating myself.
in favor then of a socialized form of healthcare in the United States?
I don't know how it will work. Listen,
Every other major country has a socialized form of healthcare.
When Obama was president, he came to my house as president.
You know, just as, you know, normal thing. Just normal thing.
Supported Obama. I'm on the National Finance Committee for Obama. And one of the things that I really liked about Obama was Obamacare. A lot of people lost their House seats for voting for Obamacare. So listen, I'm all ears about anything we can do to get more medicine and more treatment to people. My brother-in-law is a physician up in Haines City, Florida. I have a clinic called the Morgan & Morgan Clinic where he runs it, I fund it, and we take care of everybody who has lost in the system who can't get care.
How do you deal with
There you go. You just yeah, I'm not going to repeat myself. I promise I'm not going to repeat.
profiting over other people's injuries in your law firm?
Every business is in business to make a profit. If you don't have a profit, you don't have a business. On the other side of me and on the other side of my clients are insurance companies. Insurance companies do this. They take in premiums and they try not to pay claims. When they try not to pay claims...
There's the classic argument, if you do business right, then everything is going to be okay. The problem is bad businesses, illegal businesses, businesses that manipulate people, not good businesses like my businesses. We need capitalism with good businesses. We need capitalism with good billionaires, not oligarchs, etc., etc. This is a Democrat platform. This man is definitely running for office. This man is 100% running for office in his whatever county or whatever, which we've seen earlier. Okay, John Morgan on how he run for governor. Or government, or whatever. I don't give a flying fucking shit. And it's even posted in Politico. So this guy, if it's posted in Politico, this man has Obama now on fucking speed dial. He's doing a pre-campaign pitch. He's doing a pre-campaign pitch that I am dying on. Like I'm 100% sure. Bro is serving us shit truffles and telling us they're chocolate kissies. Crony capitalism argument, absolutely.
Claims fairly, that's when I'm hired. When I'm hired, the people who are hiring me cannot afford a lawyer by the hour. And the insurance industry, they live in this world. Deny, delay, defend. Their job is to...
There you go. Oh, now, yeah, this is... That I defend the post. I know, but we just watched an ad campaign for free. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. I am a literal fucking monkey.
Never be fair with you. The people who come to me at their time of need are people who've had something taken from them. The business I'm in is being the key to the courthouse for people who can't afford it, taking all of the risk. And believe me, I've lost some cases where I've written off
taking all of the risk,
millions of dollars. But at the end of the day, the only thing between me and them getting a fair shake from the insurance industry is what we do, which is take them to trial. So,
and then I took all of that money that they made by helping these workers, which God bless, and I reinvested them in massive corporations, which have what? Workers whose labor we extract. Look at all of this money that I made by helping workers, which I'm now going to use to exploit workers.
I never even realized it could be this lucrative until I got in it. But I've also scaled it in such a way that most personal injury firms are like, one-trick ponies in one city. I built mine throughout the entire United States, and by having the scale that I have, my profit got a lot bigger.
You have mentioned before.
There you go. So he has a massive law firm where it's not him defending them. It's, again, exploited labor of probably hundreds of lawyers that work for him. So even under that context, he is still not just problematic, but fuck my life.
For that, you make money off of people's injuries and stuff like that. Do you think it's ethical to, I don't want to say take advantage of people, but take advantage?
Why are they doing this? One of these dudes was like, the one good thing you did was weed. I'm going to question this. And now this person is questioning the other relatively decent thing, which is, them getting the payout for the work. Oh my God.
That's for people when they're most vulnerable.
I think what I do is highly ethical. I think that the insurance industry...
That person completely misunderstood the whole
is very unethical. I believe that...
Looking cute, though, yeah, so God bless. I agree, chat, looking cute. Fucking idiotic question, but looking cute, I guess.
I'm the difference between people getting back what was taken from them and relying on the insurance company. I believe that what I do is almost, not quite, like a ministry, because people come to me in their most desperate
Oh my God,
hours,
it's the
whether
political
they've
ad
lost their
campaign on
home,
steroids.
lost a life, lost a limb, lost livelihood, and they have no way to fight back. So I can tell you this, I sleep very well with what I do and why I do it, because I am the civil police representing the people who cannot have a voice for them.
And only the private sector can do so. You should not rely on the public sector because the public sector has betrayed you time and time again. It is also extremely inefficient, and because they cannot pay salaries as high as my law firm can pay to their lawyers, they will never be able to do work as good as mine. Therefore, private enterprise will always be necessary. And you should support me because, I will support private enterprise, but with a particular cap on it, where, we only make money through ethical means, quote unquote. And we also only, we make sure that the billions that we make get 0.001% of them reinvested in local communities. That's the pitch. This is the classic current Democratic Party pitch for everyone ignoring Zohran, okay? I would not be surprised that all of them dedicate themselves to somebody like this, a Bloomberg that is palatable to the idiot part of the masses, as an alternative to, regular everyday Joe being like, yo, how about we got like national stores and shit. Fucking shit is awesome, right? These are the two tents, pretty much, and we all know which tent is going to be supported by the current establishment. Thank you, 13 Chugga, for joining our community, my beautiful child soldier. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are very happy to see you, and very happy to have you with us. Ethical slavery livers. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much just ethical. So lucky that my capitalist gives a little bit of my surplus value back to me. Yeah. I talk about this all the time. Earlier, I made an allegory. Somebody comes into your house, robs you, steals your whole $1,000 TV, and then on the next day, knocks on your door. Obviously, you didn't catch him; he was wearing a mask. But without a mask, he knocks on your door, and he's like, "Dude, I heard you got robbed last night. I wanted to help you out. Here's $10. Stole something worth $1,000 out of your apartment, came back pretending to be a really good neighbor, and gave you $10. And the irony of it all is that $10 will make him sleep better at night. And that $10, if it's heard in your building by other people, they're going to be like, man, this guy's awesome, man. He came to one of our neighbors that was robbed, gave him $10. That guy is much better than me. I didn't give any $10. Not knowing that the reason they don't have $10 to give to their neighbor is because they don't steal fucking TVs in the fucking house. So never be thankful to any of these fucking parasites.
Themselves. I got into this business because my brother Tim was paralyzed, so I got to see what it's like to be on the other side. I got to see what it's like to be the poor.
There you go, humanize me more. I've had experiences same as you guys, blah, blah, blah.
Poor person that's being oppressed. And I'll tell you what, it is the worst.
And the main thing, because he did say this for chatters that are joining only now, he did say this earlier in the video. The main thing he pretty much learned from this is that the oppressed, unless we give them something, are going to take us out in the back and shoot us in the head. They will blow our brains out. So we should give them some health care, because otherwise they will...
feeling in the whole world to be hopeless, powerless, helpless. And when you get to step in and even the playing field and say, hey, that ain't gonna happen. And when they try to give you peanuts, we're like, we're not taking peanuts. When I walk into my lobbies throughout America, when I see those clients sitting there, I see my brother, I see my family, and I want to treat them exactly the way I would have wanted to be treated.
Do you believe most billionaires and lawyers are compassionate?
I think it all depends on the person.
Billionaires and lawyers, why are you conflating? Oh, my God.
I believe what's helped me in my life was I came from a very difficult childhood with a lot of economic insecurity and alcoholism. Everything bad that you could think happened.
Wah wah wee wah! Ra-do-do-do-da-do! I, to an extent, did as well, but I did not turn out to be a piece of shit parasite on my entire species. So shove your excuse up your fucking ass and walk the fuck out of here. Thank you very much, go.
Did happen. But the good thing about those things, if you take it the right way, is those things can generate later in life serious compassion on your part. Whenever I would see some
serious compassion becomes billionaire. Serious compassion. We must ensure the future for our people and our land. I am extremely compassionate to my Nordic race und wir werden alle Juden zerstören und die Sowjetische Union zerstören for das Lebensraum muss. Like this is him literally. Like, man, like Adolf Hitler be like, man, the Germans really got it hard, brother. We gotta help our fellow man, brother. We gotta help our fellow man. It's time to start the fucking Nazi party and shit. Yay! This is, a billionaire saying this is one to this. Okay, I felt really bad about my fellow man. That is why I became the root of the problem. I felt really sorry about my fellow man. That is why I accumulated as much money as 1 million of my fellow man. Oh.
If you take it the right way, is those things can generate later in life serious compassion on your part. Whenever I would see somebody homeless, I used to tell my children,
oh my God. Subscribe for the homeless. Can we have gift subs for the homeless? That's what he's doing. He's doing like, can I be billionaire plus sub because homeless very bad. Oh, please do not subscribe for the homeless. That would be super fucked up. I'm doing a bit for you. Please do.
Right.
Oh, what the fucking hell?
They don't want to be there. And once upon a time, that was a little girl and little boy eating.
Oh, we got Toasty walking here with details. After graduating from law school in 1982, Morgan, this gentleman, began his legal career at the law firm of Billings Morgan, no relation. No relation for sure, and Cunningham in Orlando. He left in 1985 to co-found the law firm Griffin, Morgan & Linder, a partnership that lasted 3 more years. According to Florida Trend, the partners differed in their views on marketing. In particular, Morgan insisted on advertising on television, which at that time was a controversial practice for lawyers. Yeah, it's just advertise on TV. Is it just me, or does the seating format seem super pompous? It does.
Ice cream cone, swinging, having the time of their life. And
it's supposed to imply that he's sitting in the hot chair. But he's not, because everybody in the audience, whenever somebody would actually pose a good question, and this fucking guy would debunk it by just saying, no, you're stupid, all of them laugh. The audience is filled with this guy's secretary, one of the dumbest fucking nerd-ass bitches that I've ever seen in my life. The I teach disadvantaged youth guy, right? And one kind of base dude, and the rest is just the filler.
They don't want to be there. And don't judge them because we don't know how they got there.
John, how do you care for...
Oh, great. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for exhibiting a basic moral compass. Let's all applaud the billionaire for saying, hey, we shouldn't judge homeless people because we don't know how they got there. Wow. Amazing.
For your clients when you're done.
So you had the money to graduate from law school, found a law firm within 3 years, advertised on TV in 1985. Seems like a really unstable financial situation, surely. Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point.
With them. I know your motto is for the...
Jesus, his secretary talks again. Why doesn't anybody else get to talk? He's just the secretary.
People. But it seems like it's only for the client. Up until a certain point, the award is won, the case is closed. How do you take care of your people after you're done with them?
Here's how I take care.
This guy works for him. This guy is his agent that brought him to Jubilee.
They're the people. I change conduct. I just got a big verdict against Takata airbags down in Miami a few weeks ago.
Probably like a team of 10 lawyers that are his employees, by the way. Like, just FYI. I know we're supposed to hate on lawyers because it's funny, but they're still his employees. So their relationship to him, even though they're lawyers, is that of a proletarian. So just what the fuck.
I can promise you this. Because of my cases, Takata is changing their conduct. I'm one of the lawyers on the opioid cases. These pharmaceutical companies were killing us. That's not happening anymore. I have cases against...
Okay, white boy Obama.
The tobacco industry. The tobacco industry is in the business of it
fucking reminds me. Thank you, Philip Morris, for sponsoring today's stream.
Meditated murder. These are evil, evil, evil companies. And so, for the people...
Evil companies compared to mine, which are good companies. Remember, bad billionaire oligarch. Good billionaire, very good me.
Clients and people, the people who I'll never represent, the people who will never know me. I'm changing conduct.
My question to you, throughout law school, I heard a lot that lawyers are the reason why insurance costs so much and is expensive. So what is your take on that?
Well, you heard that from the insurance industry. There's been tort reform after tort reform all across America. And you know why they have this, what's called tort reform, to take away your rights, my rights, their rights. They say, we're going to take certain rights away.
Look at the editing. You're telling me the Jubilee is not on this man's side. You're telling me Jubilee is not on this man's side. Look at the editing. Why?
All across America. And you know why they have this, what's called tort reform, to take away your rights, my rights, their rights.
Like, based billionaire.
They say, we're going to take certain rights away from you, and your rates are going to go down. But here's what's never happened. They've never tied one of those bills to a mandatory decrease of insurance premiums. These insurance companies take premiums in, they make bad investments, and then they say, oh, the lawyers are causing us to make bad investments. No, the lawyers aren't the problem. The insurance companies who run their companies poorly.
But why are they? No, they're not running their companies poorly. They're running their companies really, really well. What defines poorly and what defines well? In capitalism, the profit. Okay? Are insurance companies making hand over fist? They absolutely are. What is supposed to be their main motivating factor when it comes to what kind of business strategy they adapt to? Profit. You said you're a capitalist. Therefore, shut the fuck up. You said you're a capitalist. Shut the fuck up. Insurance companies are doing exactly what insurance companies are supposed to do in a market economy. You cannot be a capitalist and complain about what insurance companies are doing. Insurance companies are doing exactly what they're supposed to be. They're increasing shareholder value.
Are the problem, and they just want bigger profits. And by the way, when you go home, Google their profits. Google what their CEOs are making. They're not hurting. They're making a lot of money.
If you lost all of your wealth tomorrow, what would be your next step in this struggling economy? Do you think you could pull it off? Do you think you could be just as successful?
I think if I did the money.
If you lost all of your wealth tomorrow, what would be your next step in this struggling economy? Do you think you could pull it off? Do you think you could be just as successful?
Interesting question. I fuck with the question. So he's going to probably say he was lucky or something. If he's smart. Though maybe he's more cocky than smart. Let's see what he says.
I think if I did this again, I would not be this successful.
Smart. He's fucking smart.
It's been a series of left turns and right turns. And all of a sudden you end up here. I'm not arrogant enough. I believe.
Smart motherfucker. Smart motherfucker, dude. Dude. We give this dude a managerial role of the toilets in the gulag. He's going to make sure they're fucking clean as shit, okay? He's not a dumb fuck.
Believe that 99%.
I'm kidding. I don't believe in gulags. Unironically, fuck gulags. But, like, still, fucking hell.
Of what's happened to me is luck or blessings or whatever you want to call it.
I'm a pastor, and
weren't you like a guy that was helping the disadvantaged youth? Wasn't that your... Why am I more annoyed by the normals in the audience, since even though there's a literal billionaire there?
one of the core tenets of many faith systems in the world is a rejection of possessions and wealth. Do you feel like you had to sacrifice part of yourself or your faith or your family to be able to get where you are today?
Not at all, because my faith has been at the forefront of everything I've done. It's the teachings from my faith guide me not only in my life, but in my business life. And those lessons are fairly clear to me. Do I think I need to take a vow of poverty? I don't think so. If I'd done that, I would have been a Catholic priest. So
there you go, false conflation. I hate being a Redditor or whatever, but false conflation. Nobody's saying that you should be poor. There's a very big difference between being the primary cause of most poverty, which is being a large-scale capitalist such as yourself, and being poor, right? Herder, you just want me to be poor is the oldest fucking argument used by emperors, kings, queens, pharaohs, and nowadays billionaires.
So no, I have never found a conflict in making money in my faith. I think the conflict would be if I made money and didn't use my money for what I've been taught to use my money for. What my goal is I don't live anywhere near what I make, except my jet, and that is
So yeah, he has a jet. Thank you, Gravity, for the 3 months. Thank you very kindly, Gravity, for subscribing. I invite everyone else to subscribe and support the show. Blah, blah, blah. All the fucking grift shit. I love you guys. Thank you, Gravity, very much.
But I don't live that way, and my goal now is that I think my children are set. I do not want to leave the government one penny. I think that, I mean, if you want to see your money wasted, give it to Congress. And
yeah, no, don't give it to Congress. Give it to a jet. No, there you go. He's already making the arguments. Like, the government cannot properly utilize your money. Only the private sector can utilize your money. Look at what I did with my law firm. I helped so many people. That's why the private sector is necessary. Billionaires aren't bad. Oligarchs are bad. I'm fucking based. Da-da-da-da. Gde lavor, Jugo? Gde lavor ovaj šolja? U WC-u, brate moj. Kako si mi, druže?
What I want to do is I want to do as much as I can while I'm alive and leave a huge amount of money into a foundation, and that will say at that foundation, faith without works is dead.
You're a billionaire. That is my argument. No, you thought I was going to make another argument? No. You cannot be a man of God under any of the mainstream monotheistic religions and be a billionaire. It is impossible under every interpretation of the Lord's word. Under every single interpretation. Rich-ish, sure, you could. Every single saint, if we're talking Christianity, that happened to be wealthy, that has reached sainthood, did what? Literally rejected all of his material wealth and gave it away. This man wants to give it away after he dies, obviously after redistributing probably 50 to 60% to his children, and probably the fund that he puts it in with a big word faith on it is going to be managed by who? Probably his kids. Every valid interpretation. Prosperity gospel is heresy. It absolutely is. What's up, anarchist? Good to see you, my friend. Yep. I love the video's title is People versus Billionaire because billionaires aren't people. I am stealing that. Did you see that on Twitter? See that? Has somebody posted that? Somebody posted that already. Somebody posted that already because I'm doing that. Somebody posted that already. I'm stealing that immediately. Somebody posted that already. Please tell me if you've seen it from someone else, because it's going to be embarrassing. It's going to look like I'm stealing tweets. I ain't stealing no fucking tweets. Hasn't been posted already. Where the fuck does it go, motherfucker? There you go. You go tweet stealer. By the way, this tweet is doing crazy rounds. I didn't expect it. So I saw this tweet of this Greek man came up to us and said it was his dream to meet a Mexican. And I posted the completely spontaneous, organic love Balkan people have for Latinos should be studied by anthropologists or something. And it's doing the rounds. I posted this, like, I don't know, 6 hours ago, and it's got 20,000 likes. Greeks are not, and this guy immediately came in. Greeks are not Balkan. Like, there's always one guy. You guys try to make your own mariachi music or something? Pocky Preet, you fucking, like, try so fucking hard. Jesus Christ, dude. No, it's us who stole. It's not a beautiful cultural exchange. Yugopnik discovers Latino belt thesis. MXG. Oh, that pic of us get leaked. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It was very freaky when I saw it. But okay, we don't have... It hasn't been posted before. Okay, if it hasn't been posted before, I'm adding it. What the fuck? Why does it look like this? Ah, shit. No, fuck. I need to do it like this. Wait, I need to crop it better. Video, so I'm going to crop it like this. You guys, you're getting a master class in how to be a Twitter guy with 90K followers or some shit. There you go. You gotta give them a big picture, because people on Twitter are fucking idiots. Okay, they do not click on photos. It has to be like in their face like this, you know. So what was the tweet? I want to literally copy paste it. What was the tweet? I love how the video's title. I'm literally going to just steal from Coffee. Coffee, I'm just stealing. I love how the video title is "People versus Billionaire." Billionaires aren't people. There you go. Bam! Post. There you go, chat. Thumbnail grabber, you can count the pixels on your screen. There you go. You don't get the game, Red Phil. You don't get the game. You don't get the game. I want all of you over there liking and retweeting right the fuck now. You don't get the game. It's supposed to have the title in it. If I just download the thumbnail, Red Phil, they would not get the title. The title is the gist of the joke. There you go. That's why right now it's a masterclass. Engagement baiting is an art. It is. More. Only 10 of you came in. There's 400 people here. 12 of you, fucking pathetic. Fucking pathetic. Pathetic. Pathetic, chat. You're my fucking child soldiers. You fucking G's, man. 13. 13 out of 400. Unless your excuse is that you don't have Twitter. That is acceptable. I actually like you more if you don't. I don't have an account. There you go. Based. I deleted Twitter. I don't have Twitter. Okay, I respect you. 22 is fine. Most Luciferian chatter. And as I always do, but you don't follow me. Fuck you, man. Most Luciferian chatter. What the fuck? You don't follow me? I always follow the first motherfucker that comes in this shit. Billionaires aren't people who drank my beer. Is not Richard Nixon one of you motherfuckers? You gotta come in. You gotta come in the comments and say hi, chat. There you go, knife emoji. Follow back. You gotta follow for me. There you go, knife emoji. Fucking G. Knife emoji. There we go.
Wonderful. A
Knife
new child
emoji.
soldier. I mean subscriber.
Go follow knife emoji. I want to see knife emoji go up to 60. Thank you, Mom Z. Thank you for contributing so much today. Genuinely massive appreciation. Everybody, knife emoji. I want knife emoji to have at least 60 followers. Knife emoji, 60 followers now. I'm not fucking asking. I'm holding a gun against your fucking forehead. Okay? Only 2 more. Really, only 2 more. 34. Very good. 16 more. Okay? 35. Very good. More. Knife emoji is a fellow chatter. You're not going to follow a fellow chatter? What kind of a fucking communist are you? Obviously, the more we follow each other, the more communist the society we find ourselves in is. Locked? What is locked? 40. 20 more. Hey, don't fucking embarrass me like this in front of knife emoji. One of the OGs. 41. Fucking absurd. Fucking pathetic. Stop begging for clout. That's not very communist of you. I'm literally sending you to one of the chatters, not to myself. And I don't have to beg for clout. I have clout. I piss clout. I'm clout myself. I'm clout manifest. Okay? 42. Knife emoji. Motherfuckers don't like you in chat. You guys telling me you don't like knife emoji? You're telling me you don't like knife emoji. This is pathetic. How do you not like knife emoji? Their name is literally knife emoji. Thank you, Robo, for the comments. Next time, if you're first, I'll follow you. Only 42, seriously. Knife emoji, you are hated by chat. Nobody fucking with knife emoji. But okay, let's see how it's going. You can experience the thrill of being a poster with me. Already at 60, crazy. Do you feel the dopamine hit? Oh my God, we just posted the thing and it's at 60, like 1 minute later. There you go. Some of you already follow. How do you go? Yo, chat. Hello, chat. Hello, chat. You fucking cunts. Wait, Toasty? I have to follow. What the fuck? Toasty, why the fuck you not tell me this? I sent you a DM on Instagram. Oh, I am a communist that does not utilize his platform to interact with people in such a manner. I will never open Instagram DMs. That is too scary. Okay, let me go take another piss and get another beer. Yeah, I'll leave you with the fucking pedo freak here.
Personally work at my family's cafe, and I was...
Shut the... Shush. The great temple of worship of Lenin receives another sacrifice. Oh, I don't even know what half of the bits on my fucking stream are at this point.
20 racks for this jacket and got 100 on me. Don't make his own rules, he do what the fuck he want, don't he? Dig that. I just gave a brand new Lambo to my lil homie. Dig that. VS in my ears, no SIs, that's on God. She like how I shine. Dig that. He is not my kind. Dig that. Foreigns when we slide. Dig that. Ratchet, but she fine. Dig that. I fuck with her vibe. Dig that. I see dollar sign. Dig that. In a 488 Rari 3 deep. Me and two bitches, 2 a.m. headed east. Smash them both drunk a 4 and smoke 3 blunts before 3 a.m. They don't belong to me, they belong to the streets. Yeah, yeah. 5 Cuban links. Bust down. Why they call you Dolphin? You a dog, nigga, beast. When Juice WRLD died, I drunk a pint every day for a week. Whoa. When Dobie died, this shit was crazy, I couldn't even sleep. Whoa. Red breed in my DNA, solid, and it run deep. Yo. Got a meeting with my CPA. Why? Boy, I've been eating. Break the bank. My diamonds alkaline water, not Aquafina. D-Ross trying to see who hit harder, like Ike and Tina.
Oh. Okay. Chad, did you know that Balkan people are the Balkan people of the Balkan? You're just jealous because you're almost Balkan. And the last beer. We are beer number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Beer number 7. Cheers, chat. Love you, motherfuckers. Oh, damn. Try to fart so hard, almost shat my pants.
I was wondering, how much do you normally tip customer service workers that are in service?
No penis scam when we hit 2,200 subscribers. Okay, penis scam immediately.
Positions.
$100, and I'll tell you why. We're a member of.
Wondering, how much do you normally tip? I normally work at my family's cafe, and I was wondering, how much do you normally tip customer service workers that are in serving positions?
This is completely scripted. Not everyone here is scripted, but this man, and this man are paid off by this dude. There's no way. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell. Hello, rich man. Are you really good with the service workers, sir? Right now, like, imagine me doing a bit. I'm not going to do it because it would unironically come off as racist. Like, I do insensitive jokes. I'm genuinely not one of your fucking, lukewarm American leftists, etc., because I don't have to adapt to any of the American contexts. But this one would be too much. So just imagine me doing a meme about a guy being like, Masa, master. I'm usually a slave, and my slave owners are pieces of shit. How do you treat your slaves as a much more eloquent and kinder and more loving and more understanding slave owner? So imagine I did that bit, okay? So now we all imagine I did the bit. I just did the bit. Okay, that was the bit. There you go.
$100, And I'll tell you why. We're a member of 3 different churches, and my wife gives away, I don't even know what she gives away.
Members of goddamn churches,
These churches. But I am much more interested in leaving $100 tips for my servers and for the people who cut my hair than throwing $100 in the collection plate, because $100 to somebody can change their day. I got a case one time where a little boy was killed.
Motherfucker literally giving like 2 cents to his servers. Motherfucker tipping servers a single cent. Motherfucker literally tipping servers a single cent, because compared to how much he makes, giving them only $100 is fucking pathetic. Fucking brutally pathetic. Insanely fucking pathetic. A billionaire giving you $100 tip is tiny bitch ass money, okay? Chat, next time you go and you get like premium service from a lovely server, throw 10 cents at them and be like, dude, I heard billionaires give $100. The most I can do is 10 cents. Oh. If I was born into wealth with my current mindset, I would unironically put it all into funding a highly educated team of leftists into making a vanguard party. God bless. Absolutely. I get a lot of, okay, no. The second I say it, it's gonna sound like I'm bragging, so I'm not gonna say it. But all I'm pitching is fucking tip.
By bus.
Unless you're a base accelerationist who treats all service staff workers as absolute pieces of shit, because long term that is going to make them hate customers more, hate their job more, and try to pursue an ideology that is anti the system that they find themselves in. Be disgusting and horrible to service workers because it will make them into communists long term. Yeah.
In Jacksonville.
Chat out there like walking out. Yo, can I have a burger? Gets a burger, pays full price, punches the fucking guy who made him a burger. Oh.
My investigator called me and said, I just think I'd tell you how we got this case. I said, how? He said, the woman met you once. I said, when did she meet me? 5 years ago. Where? It was Christmas Eve at Bob Evans. And I went there for breakfast with my daughter. And she told my investigator, and he left me a $100 tip. That's why she called me. So I don't know where your cafe is, but let me know and I'll come in. And
this has happened to me at least 50 times. I'm a fucking Twitch streamer with 400 people and 1,900 subscribers. This is a billionaire flexing on this fucking thing. I know I said I wouldn't do it. I don't give a fucking shit. I'm an egomaniac. I don't fucking give a fuck. This is the amount of times I've gotten into bars or clubs because I was just referred to a name of a bartender like 70 times. They go and they ask, or they hit it up on the fucking walkie-talkie and they let me in because I'm not a fucking cunt when I am spending money out partying. And yet this billionaire guy's like, I gave 3 cents to a guy. Fucking okay. I gave 1 millimeter of a millimeter of a millimeter of a grain of sand on the beach of my wealth. And I'm so based for it. I'm pretty sure that half of the people in fucking chat did the same thing. Those of you who are a little bit more privileged like I am, 100% sure.
Amazing.
Leave you a $100 tip.
I'll definitely let you know. That's an amazing tip. Thank you.
Oh, But is it though? This man probably makes bills for like $4,000, $7,000, $8,000 bills on dinners with clients and with other billionaires. You think, okay, American standards, 20% is a normal tip. 20%, $100. If $100 is 20%, that means that what they spend $500. Think this motherfucker is going to places where shit cost like a dining out experience costs only $500? Think a billionaire eats at places where a dinner is only $500? I worked at a nice country club growing up. $100 tip is a minimum. Absolutely. If in American culture 20% tip is standard, that means that this billionaire man is eating at places where his average dining out experience costs $500. No, that's not. This man drinks bottles of champagne that cost $3,000. Jesus Christ.
Thank you, John.
Do you believe it's justifiable to be worth $1 billion while millions live?
With me, I tip a lot because I live off of tips. To me, it's very subjective. It's a bit of a different class dynamic. I literally live off of tips. Patreon for the D program, Patreon for First Thought, Patreon for Yugopnik, of course, and the most important one, obviously, you guys subscribing and so on. That's tips. That's tips. I live off of tips, so when I go out and it's people that live off of tips, that unfortunately live off of tips, I treat them the same way. I give them bigger tips because I expect tips. How the fuck am I not supposed to understand someone for when they want tips?
Live in poverty.
So we're paying for you giving tips to other people we don't know. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that fucking sick as fuck? You know that most of my money doesn't go towards me funding a private business or some shit. It unironically actually trickles down to people far more impoverished than I am or you are.
No. If I could undo it all and let us all be the same, that's what I would do.
No, you literally earlier said that that's not what you would do because China bad, because you went there and people had their heads down. That was his whole argument, by the way, which nobody questioned. China bad because heads down, whatever that's supposed to mean.
And do you believe, because I heard something about how you don't agree with the government spending, which I actually do agree with, so how would you split up the money?
The most to the most with the least.
Thank you, Mom Dami, for tipping the person I go and tip later.
Least. I believe that there are
about how you don't agree with the government spending, which I actually do agree with, so how would you split up the money?
The most to the most with the least. I believe that there are people that are, and I don't believe it, I know it. When you go out to the Morgan Hunger Relief Center, the people that are walking in there are not the homeless. They're walking in there dressed in work clothes with their children to get free food. And it's an abomination.
Thank you, MXG, for paying my server for the evening.
Yeah, because I go to the University of Florida because I remember you mentioning it. And one thing I've noticed as a college student is that there is a lot of corruption throughout it, from the president, even from student government, funneling millions. And then when I look into to see what, I remember you mentioning it. And one thing I've noticed as a college student is that there is a lot of corruption throughout it, from the president, even from student government, funneling millions. And then when I look into to see what happened to them, nothing really happened. They didn't go to jail or anything.
Look, the University of Florida, they hired this president who was just a buddy of the governor's, and he came up there and raped the University of Florida and took so much money, and he's still on the payroll, Ben Sass.
Yeah, that's what a lot of college students are talking about.
It's an outrage. And by the way, when you Google those articles, the alligator, I'm all over those all over those articles, ripping him a new.
So you just meant...
No, this guy's running. The article we saw earlier. Thank you, Mom Dani Vatis, for another sub. Thank you very much, my friend. It's completely on point. Oh shit! I'm showing you my history. There you go. I'm not fucking afraid. I'm not a fucking pedo. Where the fuck was it? What is 1% of a billion? John Megan, who pushed medical marijuana in Florida, followed the money. No, where was the fucking thing? Where was the fucking thing? Could somebody link the link where he's running for governor?
Mentioned that everyone's
accidentally shows his browsing history on stream. That would be terrifying if I wasn't a fucking normal guy.
A politician now, but you also said that you also have done at least 2 different things with legislation. So would you consider yourself to also be a politician?
Sorta. You know, everybody wants me to run for governor.
He's running for governor.
Florida right now. When I'd go to the White House, they'd take me over to the side and show me polling on me.
When I just go to the White House.
And there's a side of me that thinks I could be good at it, but then there's a side of me.
A better video idea. A better video idea would be one Luigi versus one billionaire. The video would pay for itself. Ha! I love adding ha at the end of my comments. There you go. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Barry. Just for people who are new in stream to contextualize.
That really enjoys living in Maui half the year. So I became sort of a politician because, listen, they were fighting me hard on the minimum wage. They were fighting me hard on medical marijuana. And I was out debating sheriffs, and everybody I was debating had a green suit on and a gun. So it was like, you know, a little hard to debate them. So I was sort of a politician because I was in the political realm, and that's why all this talk about me.
This is press tour for running for governor, yes.
About people wanting me to run for governor is percolating.
So today, I think we've all
He's running for governor.
Sat here and we've heard you talk about your jet and Maui and your 3 homes and the money that sits in your account that you don't care to touch. I think we all have experienced at some point in time that moment that you talked about as a kid, sitting there hoping and praying that somebody would help you. So I guess my question that you didn't really answer, you just told me how much you have. What stops you from helping every person in this room that's struggling right now, that can't pay a bill, had to miss out on work? How do you help them? What do you do? Because you got a private jet, but I had to take off from work today, and I'm struggling. I got bills, man. And I'm not begging for money, but I'm saying, what stops you from being able to go and help us and change our lives? Because
let me give you 100 while we're here.
I do not want to get banned.